Hello and welcome to the Kia Oval for Surrey's fourth game of their 2024 Vitality Blast campaign. Surrey are top of the table, they're 3 from 3. The challengers today, Sussex, who have 1 win from their 2 games so far. It's the first Friday night at the Kia Oval in the Blast this summer. The atmosphere, with 35 minutes or so to go to the first ball, is already electric. It promises to be a great night. I'm Rana, and with me today is Phil Walker. We'll be doing our best to guide you through proceedings today. Before we go to the toss, we've got some highlights for you from Surrey's second game, the win against Glamorgan this time last week, away to Glamorgan at Cardiff. Jamie Smith, as he has been for so much of this summer already, was the star of the show, blasting what was then a career best score of 76 from 38 delivery to lay the foundations of a 200 for 8 final score that was more than enough to see off Glamorgan. Here are the highlights from that game.
And this time Lawrence takes a drop down the wicket and just clears the man at mid-on, and that's the first boundary of the game. And this time this is Lawrence charges, and he's got it away through the offside for 4. Lofted cover drive. And Lawrence has come down, I think he's got all of that. It's gone up in the air, it's going to be a catch, and he's out. It's been taken, and Dan Lawrence is out. It went very, very high.
Labuschagne.
And that's well taken by Marnus Labuschagne. And drives this one slightly uppishly, but gets it through the gap, and this one looks like it's going to race all the way. Yep, beautifully timed, and that's Jason Roy's first boundary. And that ball's driven, and it makes its way through to the boundary, driven from outside off through mid-on in these new look shirts. Oh, and he bowled him! He's bowled him! Tim van der Houten straight through, and Jason Roy is gone for 11. That so far is hitting the pitch hard. And again, and he's out! Caught behind! What an introduction, Dan Douthwaite, his second ball, and he struck.
Another, we keep saying it, another big wicket.
Yeah, he's gone for the ramp shot. He's played it well. Has just got enough on it. And he hits a wide full toss. Through point for a boundary. So
normal stance.
Oh, and there's another one driven straight, but that has gone through Douthwaite's hands, and it's gone for 4. One from Crane, now one from Labuschagne, and that's driven straight. Has he got all of that?
Yes.
I think it has, and it's almost hit the cameraman. Oh! I don't believe it. They've dropped another one. 2 and 2 balls. Oh, Glamorgan. We'll just take the shine off what's happened so far. Another back foot drive. Will this one be up? And it clears Dan Douthwaite. And that's it just over 8 and over, Surrey. And another shot, and that one, he's got all of that one, and that one is over the fence and into the taff, potentially. So can Labuschagne respond? And he looks like he might have done the same thing again. Yep, that one's 6-2. Yep. And that's another shot off the back foot this time from Smith. Same result. 6 more. So that's the third 6 of the over. And that has been a difficult over. And that's 50 as well for Smith off 26 balls. So Bevan. And straight away, that one is in the air. This could be out. Oh! Standing in the right place. Drives again. Has he got this one? This should be out. Yeah. They've got one. Finally a catch taken. And he's bowled it. Brilliant! He bowled. Just Dan Douthwaite. He's through him. You think this one, he does get him to cut this one behind point. Has he got enough on it? It does. It's back on for Glamorgan now from the Cathedral Road end, and straight away that one has been drilled straight back for 6. Smith again, but this time he has, I think he might have got another one. He has. He's gone big over the other side. 6 more for Smith. And that, I think, is number 3. Smashed into the stand in front of the pavilion, and that is it. And there's a big swing of the bat again. Has he got enough on this? Should be out, and it is out. Smith is out. He was gone for a few so far, and he's bowled him. Labuschagne straight through him. He stepped away. Curran. Cam Steele. It's a short one. He's got a lot of it, and it's gone for 6. Oh, has it? Perhaps he wished that one had gone straight on. And that's better this time. He's bowled him, no doubt about that one. Mason went for a few 6s. This is the final over his spell, and that ball has been smashed for 6 into the stand. 1 for 23 from his 3, and this could be a wicket. It should be. Oh, I don't believe it. I do not believe it. That's another one gone down. Went for the Yorker, and Atkinson's played that really, really well. Has flicked it off his toes. It's full, and the ball just drops just short of Marnus Labuschagne. They're coming off for 2. This could be a run out, and they're going to go upstairs and have a look, I think. Or is he in? I think he's in. First shot played in anger, and that's been pulled. One bounce to the mid-wicket boundary, and Eddie Barr steps away this time, and that one's been clubbed over mid-on for 4 more. That's in the air. This should be out, and it is. Eddie Barham has gone. Atkinson strikes, and that's cool. Northeast drive straight and beautifully for 4 runs. Lovely. Makes room and has sliced it down to 3rd man, and he's out. Yeah, perhaps commentator's curse. He is out, sliced it, going to chase a wide one, got a top edge. So Ingram back on strike. Short ball. Gosh. I think he's got hold of that one. That is into the stands. 6 for Ingram. And that's a beautiful shot, driven away by Northeast. Has timed it beautifully, and that's crossing the boundary now. And 1 more. And gets an edge, and that's gone for 4. Lucky. Labuschagne runs it off the face, a deliberate shot, and gets 4. Sweeps and gets all of it. 4 runs to Colin Ingram, and that's inside edge. Is that going to go all the way? I think that is a welcome boundary for Glamorgan. And Labuschagne, 24 not out, has a swing at this one again, makes room, and he's got it through again. Didn't mean to put it there, but he won't care. That's 4 more. Short ball, slow short ball, and I think that's been well hit, and he finds the boundary. A welcome boundary for Colin Ingram. Swings this one away. He's got a lot of that. And 6! Swings it away on the leg side again, and that's 4 more. To steal. That turns. That's been hit hard, and for 4 by Marnus Labuschagne. Made the room. Similar shot, this time on the other side, and that's gone for 6. Flat and for 6. They need to target him. That's a good ball. He's run that down fine. We've seen the power, now we've seen the deftness, and that's a brilliant shot by Labuschagne. 16 off this over so far. This is a fuller one. He sweeps. Is it going to bisect the fielders? No. Oh! I'm mistaken. That's 4 more. And that should be it. He drives into the gap. It's a brilliant classical shot from Labuschagne, and he moves on to 50, leading this Glamorgan charge. As Ingram swings the bat, that's gone high. Straight over the... Oh! Swings this one. 2 full pitch delivery. Again, they're going to look for 2. And Labuschagne's coming back. Another dive possibly. He doesn't need to this time. Gets home. Good running. And that's another good over for Glamorgan. I think it's 13 off the over. And Ingram moves to 50. So it's Clark bowling now. And Labuschagne hits that hard. Oh, oh no, could be trouble again. There's trouble again. Oh, and he's gone. Is he on the field? I don't. Oh, so that's gone straight up in the air. Labuschagne straight up in the air. I think the keeper's under it. It's Smith, and it's out. And that, unfortunately, is the end of Marnus Labuschagne. Oh, you have to ask, is that the end of Glamorgan's hopes? Opens, clears the leg out of the way and drives, and that has gone for 6. A fantastic straight hit. And that's been swung hard and high. And it's gone for 6. If you can get hold of one. And there's one, exactly that. We've called it, Steve James called it. And that's over the screen. That big screen. This time goes offside. He's hit that one in the air on the offside. And gets 4. And over mid-off. Full toss. Hit it in the air. This could be out. And it is. I think that's... And he's bowled. Yeah, first ball, Tom Bevan had no choice really but to give it the kitchen sink, and he missed it. So last ball of the Glamorgan innings, and Van Houten swings that into the leg side. They're just going to take one, and so Glamorgan finish.
Jamie Smith has career best scores in each of his last 2 performances. Can he go one better today? Without further ado, let's head to Claire for the toss.
All right, well, it's time for the coin toss before we get this one underway. I've got the captains to my right, I've got match umpires too, and most importantly, I have got George, our brilliant mascot. George, you're going to give that the highest toss you possibly can, and Samal, it's over to you to call it while it's in the air, whenever you're ready. Tails, the call. It's heads, so Ollie.
We're going to have a bowl first.
Lovely stuff, Ollie, and I'm going to come and have a word with Tamal about this. How do you feel about that? Gone the way you'd hoped?
Yeah, we were going to bat first, so yeah, everyone's happy.
What did you learn from Sunday afternoon in Cardiff? What have been the tweaks in the interim?
Yeah, I think we need to improve in all 3 facets. We weren't particularly great at anything in Cardiff on Friday, so yeah, lots for it to improve on. But you know, we had a good win in our first match as well, so no need to panic just yet.
And you were great in lots of facets the last time you were here. That must be fresh in the mind.
Yeah, obviously it's good. It's a great place to come and win. But look, we're playing against a very strong Surrey side, so we know we're going to have to be at our very best if we're going to win tonight. So yeah, the boys are ready, and I'm looking forward to it.
So are we. Thanks so much, and all the best.
Thank you very much.
Ollie, how do you feel about that one?
Yeah, good. We've done a bit of both this year. I think the pitch isn't going to change too much over the 40 overs, so yeah, pretty happy.
Momentum is a tricky thing to maintain in sport, particularly T20, but how confident are you that it'll be 4 from 4 by close of play tonight?
Oh yeah, I mean, look, the boys have been up and about, excited for this game. We had a nice little break after the last one, so a little time to reset. So yeah, hopefully we can go 4 from 4.
Just lastly, I've never heard so many giggles coming out of a warm-up from a Surrey team. The mood seems really good in camp right now.
Yeah, I think when there's a football at our feet, there's always a bit of a laugh happening. So yeah, the boys are good. The boys are excited for this one. Yeah, like I said, strong start to the season. Yeah, hopefully it continues tonight.
Class. Thank you so much for your time. Good luck tonight.
Cheers. Thank you.
Well, that's everything from us here in the centre of the pitch. A reminder, the Kia catch is live, up and running from that first ball. You catch a 6 cleanly and £1,000 is yours. It's simple on paper, it's impossible in practice, but toddle along to the Alex Stewart stand and you can have a word with the Kia team there if you want a little bit more clarification on the rules, or if you do manage one of those clean catches. George has been a brilliant mascot. Thank you, George. Enjoy your day at the Kia Oval, and to all of you too, we'll see you back here in about half an hour's time for that all-important first ball.
Surrey have won the toss and they're having a bowl. Phil Walker, what do you make of that decision?
It doesn't surprise me in that the last 3 games that have been played on the same pitch here at the Kia Oval, the team won't win the toss has done the same thing. Going back to England last Thursday against Pakistan, Southeast Stars as well, and of course the game on Sunday evening here last week when Somerset. Surrey did the business with the ball. The truth of it is that it doesn't really matter, right? From Surrey's perspective, if you look down the card, they are a brutishly strong cricket team. And whether they are chasing or setting, they will fancy themselves here. They're 3-0. They're playing some relentless cricket out there. And so they've decided to get stuck in first up. I guess it's the more aggressive front foot decision. But with the batting lineup that runs all the way down the pipe to number 11, then they will fancy that they will chase anything at all. The pitch itself, we haven't looked at it close up, but the pitch to the naked eye from a distance looks hard and not quite as green and grassy as it was this time last week. It would have had a week of relatively dry conditions and sunshine on it. You expect it to carry through, as we've come accustomed to here at the Kia Oval. And I'm expecting a good one, right? This is Friday nights at the Oval. This is Friday nights in South East London. We know the way it goes. We were expecting 25,000 in, and it's going to be a good one. From Sussex's point of view, they're perhaps lacking a bit of firepower with the bat, but they are a seam-heavy side. And so they will be thinking if they can post something, then their seamers under lights can get stuck in.
Yeah, two very seam-heavy sides, actually, and one of the key parts of the last game, there's one point where Surrey looked like they were going to post a score of 200, 210 when Jamie Smith was hitting pretty much every third ball for 6, literally. But then Somerset seamers worked out that pace-off was the way to go on that pitch, and Surrey collapsed spectacularly. I think 152 for 5 to 163 all out, and the Surrey seamers saw what worked and adapted their own games accordingly. And then Tom Curran and Sean Abbott had a lot of success taking pace off, bowling stump to stump later. So it'll be interesting to see if the pitch is similar to that. But yeah, Jamie Smith was in form once again against Somerset, rescuing Surrey from an early wobble in a game that undulated throughout. He top scored for Surrey. Here are the highlights from that win over Somerset.
First sign of unorthodox aggression. Makes room this time, slaps it down to deep third, and he's straight into the palms, and he's gone. Rather cranky with himself. Just one man outside the ring on the offside, and he's picked him out. He's barely had to move down there for it. He didn't get on top of it as he planned. And that was easily bagged at deep third. Barely had to move a muscle. Yep. And so, first one down.
Straightforward catch for Tom Lambie. We were talking earlier about how batting intent is changing.
Lawrence goes, and he's gone. Straight off the hit, straight to the man at deep square. Can have no complaints.
Somerset have probably got these two Surrey players out. They've gifted their wickets away. Dan Lawrence, after his opening partner fell, finding the only man out in the deep leg side field.
Into the gap this time. Nicely timed by Ollie Pope, just a push. Over the keeper, and one bounce for... Short, convincing this time. That's vintage Jason Roy. Flat and hard, straight through mid-wicket, 4 more. High. And gone. Doesn't have to move a muscle yet again. Makes space straight away, first delivery, and that will run away for 4. Not where he intended, but he'll... He's found the gap this time. That does go all the way, in fact. Just limps over the boundary rope, but that does go all the way, and Jamie Smith. Slower ball this time, well seen by Jamie Smith, and that will run away for 4. Beautifully played. Leg side, and will run away for Jamie Smith. That is a naughty shot.
Together, we've got an incredible bunch of girls with a lot of talent.
Smith goes aerial again. 6 again. He goes again. And 6 again.
Staying fit and being active. The stuff you're seeing out here in terms of the power.
It's actually incredible. Yeah, that's the first thing we noticed when we came in. Just
the regional structure has worked really well in terms of pooling talent. But now we need to look at a model where...
He goes again. And it's 6.
He's made that look so easy.
The 22-ball half-century from Jamie Smith. Oh, brilliantly played by Jamie Smith. We saw the power of him in the previous over against Robson.
Goes again this time, just beats the keeper. Well, that's gone all the way. That's in the gap as well. That beats extra cover, and that will run away for 4 more. Lowish full toss, clubbed over Craig Overton. 6 more. And he's played on, Ollie Pope. Foolish in the slot, whacked. 4 more. This should be taken. Steadies himself And a third catch for deep square leg. Bowled in. So that first 100 will not happen today. Look at that. Nicked in. Oh. Extra bounce by Ben Green. Thank you very much. 2 in the over. Foolish again, bowled in, off stump, out the ground, on your way. Brilliant stuff by Riley Meredith. He's been a star today, Freefer.
Such is the difference between the pace-on and pace-off deliveries. This Surrey innings, having been...
Picks him out. Another catch for deep square. Bowled him. Leg stump clipped. And that is the end, suddenly, just like that. 163 all out. An eccentric innings, Rana.
Drilled through the offside by Tom Banton. He gets off the mark. Driven again into the offside, this time behind square, and it runs away for 4 again. A second boundary in the overs. Jamie Smith, excellent with the bat and excellent with the glove. That's an excellent take behind the stumps. Shorter from Spencer Johnson, 16 for 1.
Yeah, look, he's a big lad as well, and he needed to stretch long and hard there, and he's picked it out the air.
Short, that is absolutely enormous. Clark follows Smeed again, who outside edges it. Fuller from Johnson, and Smeed has whacked that over the fielder at short mid-wicket here. Spencer Johnson bowling his 3rd over on the trot. Bowled him! Smeed was looking dangerous, but he's gone. Spencer Johnson has his 2nd wicket in 3 deliveries. He's removed both Somerset openers. Oh, inside edge this time, beats Jamie Smith, and it will run away to the boundary. And that has gone for 6. Follows him again, and Conor Cadmore picks up his 2nd. Abel looks to go aerial, and it goes straight to the man.
Spin for the first time of the innings, and that's gone hard and fast and long and into the crowd. Spencer Johnson set the tone. I thought he was superb up front.
Yeah, he was very...
Oh! And he's got to go. That's outstanding. He looks entirely comfortable, did Tom Kohler-Cadmore. He didn't reckon. Cadmore was comfortable. It's a brilliant piece of work by Sean Abbott. It's a superb piece of work. Surrey have been at it right from the get-go here. It looked like a comfortable 2, and Cadmore is nowhere. Brilliant stuff. Reverse sweep right off the stumps. Thank you very much.
Oh, I feel great about it. I felt a lot of pressure going up to it, actually, because I mean, I've got Kia written across my chest, and I just couldn't let myself drop a single ball out of there, so I'm just glad.
Clubbed into the onside for 4. Bowled in! Dixon goes. Curran's having a cracking tournament.
Oh, outside edge. Atkinson very, very nearly picks up. Dropped at cover by Jordan Clark. You'd expect him to take that one. Spooned up. Bowled in. Tom Curran strikes with a following delivery. Oh, it's another drop catch. First ball, Craig Overton spoons the ball back to Tom Curran.
Oh, it's huge.
In the slot. And Lammonby has deposited that one. Lammonby goes the big shot again, doesn't quite time it. And another. Van der Merwe cuts this one. Well, he plays it this time. Big, big swing. It's gone straight up in the air and straight into the hand. Chipped to mid-on, and that will be that. Surrey go 3 from 3. Rory Burns with the catch on the field. Well, Jamie Smith has been Surrey's leading run scorer in each of their last 2 wins. Let's hear from the man himself.
Well, there was only one Surrey player we could speak to today, really, and that's the man of the moment who's striking the ball like a dream. He's seeing it like a beach ball right about now, and that is Jamie. Really simply, what's clicking at the moment?
I guess it's just confidence in my game at the moment, obviously coming on the back of a good winter and just trusting what I'm doing, and a lot of luck as well. And when it comes to T20, you're trying to swing a few away. I've had a bit of luck at times, and thankfully it's come off.
Are you doing anything differently? Have you worked on anything before the season?
I think it's just being really aggressive. I guess in the past you maybe take a few more balls to get going. I found this year I've just tried to be ultra positive from ball one, I guess, and as I said, thankfully it's come off. There will be a bit of tough times ahead. They won't always come off, but we're going to stick with that process and hopefully it works more often than not.
And on an international level, you'll be looking to add to those caps from back in September. How are those ongoing conversations with England?
Yeah, obviously, just first and foremost, want to be playing as well as you can, and then performances hopefully will take you to the next level. But that's all I'm focused on now is the game tonight and seeing how far we can go.
OK, well then, talking about tonight, you're a local lad, grew up just down the road. Do you get regular support when you're here at the Kia Oval? Who'll be watching on? Yeah, got both parents, my girlfriend here as well tonight, so it's obviously great. It's always a well-supported night, especially on a Friday, so I'm sure all the lads are ready to go. And you're creeping closer and closer to that maiden century in a T20 game. The numbers are getting bigger. Are you feeling it this evening? Well, it'd be nice. I thought last game probably would have been a great chance, but obviously it wasn't meant to be. You're not really thinking too much about their milestones when you're out there. Just keep going and hopefully more to come tonight. Well, I'll let you stop talking about yourself. I know that team athletes never like doing that. Let's talk about Surrey. You've been in this setup for such a long time. There is a clear feel-good factor about this place right about now. What do you put that down to? I think just the personnel that's in there at the moment. We've got a great mix in that squad of, international quality and also some younger players that are coming through. It's a nice, relaxed environment. I think everyone sort of knows now what, is required of them, and they can go out tonight on nights like these and just express themselves. Nights like these and also afternoons like Sunday. How was that? Yeah, it was brilliant to be back home at the Kia Oval. We've obviously had 2 away games, so to be back home, we have a nice little run of 3 games at home, which would be great to get some wins on the board in front of great crowds. I understand you're a bit of a video geek. You will have done your swatting up on Sussex. What have you made of the team rolling into town tonight? Oh, look, they're a fantastic side. Potentially in the last couple of years they've turned us over a few times, and we're pretty determined now to go 4 from 4 and make a good start, a great start. Amazing. Thank you so much for your time, Jamie. All the very best tonight. And like you said, maybe there's 3 figures on the horizon. Hopefully. Thank you.
Phil, Jamie Smith is having one hell of a summer, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's the most exciting young talent in the English game. He's a well-rounded, multi-format cricketer. He's an ultra-modern player in that he can do the lot. He can bat all day for you. He can see off the red ball when it's swinging around corners. He's opened the batting and made hundreds for Surrey. He's ensconced now at 4 in the red ball team, and it looks like that's his position as well in this T20 side. But it's interesting because he could bat anywhere in the top 5 or 6, and he's become the go-to man for them. He's not just the best player in this Surrey side, but he's the best young player in England.
Well, you've already had a look at the highlights from the Somerset game, but the media team here at Surrey are putting together these really cool behind-the-scenes videos after every home game. They're called the second glance. Here is the second glance from the Somerset game.
What's this, 4th glance? T20, ninth glance. Do you want to start at him?
There's one shot that Smith has that very few players have. It's where he rocks back against a spinner and hits them straight. But those balls that most other players can only hit square on the leg side, Smith hits straight as well as square, which makes captaining against Smith so much harder than it is for most players. Somerset at home are one of the hardest games on the calendar.
We always talk about momentum in T20 cricket, how important that is, how important it is to start well. But tonight will be a tough challenge, right, against the defending champions and the side that won their first game as well.
Yeah, exactly. We've had 2 wins away from home, and we're probably just starting to hit our straps here.
Well, here we are out in the middle, ready for the toss. Ollie Pope, sorry, captain.
Best ground in the world, isn't it? So the crowd looks like it's going to be top draw, and yeah, the boys are fizzing. 1 from 3, but no, happy with that. I'm in an eye on whether to bowl or bat, so should be. It looks a decent wicket, slightly dry. See how we go.
First sign of unorthodox aggression. Short, convincing this time. That's vintage Jason Roy. High and gone.
I think walking out, obviously, you're trying to look to be positive. It's still in the power play. You've got to take some risks and, you know, be ultra positive.
You don't win many games in T20 cricket when you lose 3 wickets in the power play, and Surrey had 2 options. They could either bed in, rebuild, or go hard. The informed Jamie Smith tried to hit his first ball out of the park, got away with a bit of luck, inside edged it away for 4, but from that point on, Jamie Smith was just on the attack.
Sometimes your beans are going a little bit if someone's bowling a decent bit of pace.
Ollie Pope played a really clever captain's innings.
Guys who have been playing the red ball the whole time over this last 2 months, yeah, they've been nailing their basics. So yeah, now it's just adding those specific T20 skills in, especially.
He kept on getting Jamie Smith, who was seeing it like a football, on strike, and Jamie Smith was just playing the game on a completely different pitch.
Jamie Smith, that is a naughty shot.
Made that look so easy.
Just decide that, you know, you're either going to hit it for 6 or potentially get out. Something that probably worked on a lot with, you know, Jim Chowton over the winter.
And he's played on, Ollie Pope. Bowled in.
We probably felt we're, you know, 20 short there on that sort of wicket.
Oh, that Somerset top order is one of the hardest batting lineups to come across in the T20 Blast. When you're defending 163, you've got to be quite ruthless, because 1 or 2 big overs and then the rate becomes something you can't re-salvage.
Spencer Johnson set the tone. I thought he was superb up front.
Keeping things as simple as possible and sort of not going away from my strength, which is top of the stumps.
Bowled him!
You've dreamt of it as a kid, to contribute to your team winning, and the crowd cheering you and standing up and clapping you. It's something that I never thought would happen in England.
Oh! And he's got to go.
A lot of seam options at the minute, which is a blessing, but also makes sort of selection a little bit harder.
Swing, it's gone straight up in the air.
As we saw late in the game, Tom Curran and Sean Abbott in particular had a lot of success bowling stump to stump, taking pace off the ball every now and again.
A lot of it is just gut feel, and I guess sort of a sixth sense of experience.
And that will be that. Surrey go 3 from 3.
OK, the players are out there. They're very keen. We're still 2 minutes from half past, but the players are ready and rolling. The umpire is just delaying matters until the clock ticks over to half past. The crowd is still filling out here at the Kia Oval. We're expecting around 24,000 in. It's quite a Friday night here, folks, in South London. It's one of the hottest tickets in town. It's going to be Spencer Johnson up front, as we saw on Sunday last week. He was absolutely brilliant, I thought, Yaz Rana, with that new white ball. Left arm wheels, I would say. And it's going to be Ollie Carter and Dan Hughes opening up for Sussex Sharks. Having been inserted by Ollie Pope, the first 6 for these openers, absolutely crucial.
Yeah, absolutely. Ollie Carter on strike, Spencer Johnson with the new ball. He was outstanding against Somerset, prized out the wickets of both Will Smead and Tom Banton in a chase that could have been very difficult to defend. Spencer Johnson first up to Ollie Carter.
And he's away with a tight single into the offside, but tidy enough.
We've not done the teams yet, Phil.
Well, we were running right up to that first ball, so we're going to run through them quick as you like. We'll start with Sussex, the visitors. Dan Hughes and Ollie Carter, as I say, opening up. Dan Hughes, very fine Australian bat. Ollie Carter just coming through. Sussex. John Simpson is carded at 3. Skipper in the 4-day stuff, of course, keeping wicket in this side. Tamal Mills down at 11, he will be captaining the white ball side. James Coles, Finn Hudson-Prentice in the middle order. Tom Walsop, Jack Carson and the bowlers. Surrey, Dan Lawrence, Laurie Evans, Jason Roy, Ollie Pope, top 4. And then the man of the moment, Jamie Smith at 5. Jordan Clark, Tom Curran, Sean Abbott, Cameron Steele, Gus Atkinson, Spencer Johnson. Driven into the offside. And he'll pick up a couple. Jordan Clark in hot pursuit, and I think they'll settle just for the 2. So both openers up and running.
Bit of a loosener from Spencer Johnson, not quite as fast as we're used to seeing him, but a bit of early swing on offer, that one, moving away from his compatriot Dan Hughes, the Aussie overseas opening bat.
Yeah, Aussie to Aussie. Spencer Johnson making quite a splash here. Very popular figure. And there you go, that's why nip and pace away from the left-hander. That's climbed on him. And Dan Hughes was rather leaden-footed there, wafting outside off stump. Yeah, so one change for Sussex. Archie Lenham in, the leg spinner. He seems like he's been around for a while, but he's only 19, you tell me. He made his debut maybe at 16.
Yeah, I think he was 16. I think he's the first player to play in the Blast who was born after the Blast started.
There you go, so he's in. Picked up into the onside, and that will run away. Got enough of that. It's there to hit in the slot. Lefties like that, especially coming into the pads from that angle, left arm over. And so first boundary 4.
Yeah, Spencer Johnson trying to get the ball to swing away from Hughes. This time, the line was a little bit too straight, but actually, looking at the replay, Hughes has done really well to whip that from around about off stump over the fielder at mid-wicket. Five men in the ring on the offside, 1 slip in place. There were 2 for Johnson's first ball to Hughes, but second slip was already moved out the cordon. The first slip's gone as well.
Yeah, they've taken first out as well, so they moved Dan Lawrence to the onside 45. So 4 now on the onside. That tight ring on the offside. So first one done, 7 for no loss. Good start by Dan Hughes, picking up his first boundary 4.
Keep an eye on those speeds from Spencer Johnson. Started the over in the low 80s, up to 86, 87 by the end of it. He can bowl really fast.
It's like it's going to be Gus Atkinson with the new ball from the far end as we look at it, the Mickey Stewart Members Pavilion end. And I mean, new ball or old, he's got serious pace and quality. He has this knack of just injecting a different kind of tempo into an innings. It's not often actually you see him take the new ball in either format, but he's been entrusted with it here as Gus Atkinson, and with that extra hardness on the new ball and with a fresh pitch, and as the lights begin just to take effect here, and Jamie Smith is standing 25 yards back, and that has gone boomeranged after beating the bat. It is a wide, but it's beaten Jamie Smith on the inside. That has gone like a banana after pitching.
I think we've got the perfect view in the ground for that. That just missed leg stump, but moved miles off the ball past the stumps.
Jamie Smith gets a bit of glove onto it, but considerable early movement. Interesting that Atkinson is starting without any slips.
And he's followed Ollie Carter there. He's perhaps anticipated that Carter might be trying to ramp it over his left shoulder. Picks up a leg by, though, the batter, and probably won't be too disappointed to be back at the non-striker's end.
With Chris Jordan away with England at the T20 World Cup, Ollie Pope obviously captaining Surrey at the moment. We had a first sight of him captaining here at the Kia Oval on Sunday. I was really impressed by his work. There's a real clarity in what he's trying to do. We're already seeing it 7 or 8 balls into this game. Started with 2 slips, clearly saw something, very happy to change his mind if he's got a thought that he wants to back.
Beautifully played. Wasn't given much width, but he stayed leg side and chopped that away behind square for 4. A couple of boundaries already to Dan Hughes.
Yeah, aggressive start from Sussex as Atkinson gets up to 88 miles per hour. It's a really, really impressive Surrey seam attack in particular. 6 serious options with the ball. Sussex starting well. Sussex are a side that are in transition a little bit in white ball cricket. There's a period not that long ago.
Carved away 4 more, beautifully played. It's a classic left-hander's shot in white ball cricket. Knowing that the field is up, get enough elevation over backward point, and that's 4 more. It was there to hit.
Yeah, a bit of width, and Hughes threw his hands at it. Really aggressive start from Sussex. I like it, taking Surrey on. Sussex 1 win from 2 so far in the competition. Beat Gloucestershire in a last ball chase in their opener.
Better by Gus Atkinson, straighter. Yeah, it was there to hit that previous delivery, but he's deliberately gone up and over. Shows a clarity of thought. And they've just moved deep third now, much squarer for that, if you like, that slash, that back cut. Very little margin for error with the field up in the top 6, in the front 6, and Sussex Sharks. It's a tidy start by these two, already into the 20s. Interesting record, Dan Hughes. Yeah, he's in his mid-30s now. He doesn't have a particularly standout T20 record, but a very, very good 50-over record.
Yeah, outstanding 50-over record, averaging nearly 60 in 50-over cricket. We've played a lot of that, most of that in Australia, where they have a very competitive 50-over competition.
Quick single into the offside, well played. Yeah, you would imagine that coming from Australia and having, as you say, that good 50-over record, that he would like it here. This is, if you like, not exactly a replica of an Aussie pitch, but it has certain components that perhaps an Australian batter, a back foot left-hander opening bat, would be more at ease and at home here, more than perhaps other pitches outside in the provinces. It certainly looked like he's got stuck in already here. Game looked in tidy order up to now. Ollie Carter interested in a single, but wisely sent back.
Yeah, Sussex aside in transition, they got to 4 knockout stages in a row in the Blast, 2018, 19, 20 and 21. They've lost a lot of players. If you look at the lineup today, very few of the players who got them to those knockout games still remain at the club. Even going back to last year, where they didn't qualify for knockouts. No Ravi Bopara, Shadab Khan, who had a very good season, not around this year.
Picked up, beats the man as well, comfortably. Forget about that, 10 yards back. Waited for it, kept his shape, picked it up, flick off the hit. First 6 of the evening.
That's a great shot. Using the extra pace from Spencer Johnson and is helping it on its way. That's gone 10 rows back. Really classy start for Hughes. He started aggressively, but playing a lot of conventional shots. Any width, he threw his hands at it. That time Johnson erring straight, and it's helped along for 6.
And it does beat the man, in fact. And Jamie Smith glove off. Will manage to pull it back, but they will scamper through for 3. Good start, this.
Very good start. 31 for none after 2.5 overs. And interestingly, we're only 2.5 overs into the game. First pace-off delivery from a Surrey seamer. Keep your eye on that throughout this game. Both sides used the slower balls very effectively in the game against Somerset on Sunday. It was on the same pitch that we're using here today. This is the 4th game in a row that has been held on this specific strip.
Bowled in, thank you very much. Vicious inducker from the left armour, and Ollie Carter is nowhere near it. Off stump, cartwheeling, and just as you felt like Sussex was settling in, Spencer Johnson has his say.
That's a classic left armer's dismissal with the new ball. Full, searching for a bit of swing. Looking at the replay, there's not quite as much swing as I initially thought. But that's done Carter, beating on the inside edge. Done him for pace potentially as much as anything else.
I think that's exactly it. He was still picking his bat up. As that off stump did the business. Yeah, after a rather innocuous start for the left armour, he's now into the game, 31 for 1.
The change in the Sussex order from what we've seen so far this season. James Coles, the very talented, highly rated James Coles, he's got himself a promotion. He's up at number 3. Previously, we've seen Tom Alsop there for Sussex this season. Coles is in good nick. Hit 69 not out of 49 in Sussex's unsuccessful chase against Glamorgan in their last fixture. England under-19s, England Lions. A lot of people really rate James Coles.
Got a job to do here.
I spoke to a county player last season, Phil, and I asked them, who's the player in county cricket that us journos don't talk about, but we should talk about? And without skipping a beat, the player said, James Coles. Actually pinpointing his ability against spin more than anything else. Said he's got options that very few players, certainly young players, have on the domestic circuit.
He's played that beautifully. Anticipated the line, moved inside it. And he's going to come back for a third. He's going to have to hurry, but he's comfortably home in the end. Intelligent batting, he will keep the strike. 3 gone, 34 for 1. So a successful-ish over for Spencer Johnson. But Sussex took a few blows themselves. Interesting start, yes.
Yeah, an eventful over yet again. 12 runs from it. 2 threes in that over. But also the wicket of Ollie Carter. That was a really classy shot, actually. Shuffled across his crease and timed it really nicely into the leg side, picking up 3.
Echoes of Ollie Pope, echoes of Joe Root as well. Getting outside off stump and still using the angle to access straight mid-wicket. It's Tom Curran now. He's gone up, straightish. Neil Bainton, my old club umpire, not interested.
Yeah, Tom Curran into the attack, replacing Gus Atkinson. As we take a look at that LBW shout to James Coles.
Yeah, going down.
Leg side.
Tell you what, if I was batting as, Baines would have given me out. Trust me on that.
Tom Curran, by the way, enjoying an outstanding start to the campaign.
Yeah,
6
brilliant.
wickets at 8, 3 games into the season.
Wide-ish and chopped away. But of course, there's cover down at deep third, so just a single.
Yeah, they're 1 down, but really liking this aggressive start from Sussex. I know this is a T20 Blast game, but Phil, we've got to mention the USA game.
Oh.
What a result that was.
So, full disclosure, I've been working rather hard on a project, so I didn't even watch it. I watched the highlights, I was following it, but the full drama as it unfolded, I wasn't actually watching. You're going to have to run it through me.
So I was watching the finish in a pub. I had a school reunion where people who'd left the school 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago were all in this pub space.
and there were loads of people huddled around a phone. No one knew each other. We're all from different generations, and everyone was totally gripped.
Really?
USA won it in the super over, an extraordinary super over. USA scored 18, but only scored 1 boundary for no sixes. There were 3 wides from Mohamed Amir. There was a misfield, buzzers.
Rather clothed into the onside this time.
And part of me, first reaction was, what an amazing result. It's always great to see an associate win, especially USA. There's so much else around them at the moment that's very interesting. The second, thank the Lord for Pakistan in major tournaments. Every single time, they never let us down in terms of providing entertainment. Some otherwise pretty drab ICC events have been given life by a Pakistan collapse. It was a seriously good game of cricket. USA, a couple of really exciting bowlers hitting 88, 89 miles per hour.
Playing a miss this time. So Jones, who hit 9 or 10 sixes in the first game, he was to the fore as well against Pakistan, right?
Yeah, he was really good. Can't remember the exact equation, but I think they might have needed 12 off the last 3 balls, and he hit the 3rd last ball of the game for 6 off Harris Ralph. Then a single off the penultimate ball, and then Kumar hit a 4 off the last ball to send it to a super over.
Driven into the space, beautifully timed, slightly uppish, but extra cover, could only watch it go by. 4 more, 4 gone, 39 for 1. Dan Hughes batting very tidily indeed. Shots all around the wicket.
Still a very handy first over into the attack from Tom Curran, just 5 runs off it. By some distance, the quietest over of the innings so far. Looks like we'll have another change in the bowling attack. Jordan Clark coming on from the Vauxhall end to replace Spencer Johnson. Now, the US story is fascinating because a lot of people think this is cricket desperately trying to reach a new audience in America. I'm not sure that's what it's about. There's a huge US following cricket audience already there. There's such a big expat community. For that game in Dallas, most of the fans in the ground were backing Pakistan, not USA. There was a Nepal-Netherlands game where it was pretty much a packed house full of Nepal fans. There's so many cricket fans there, it makes sense for cricket to try and engage those people.
I'll ask you what it means for the permutations of that group in a moment. Into the space again, but well parried by Gus Atkinson at extra, and so just a single, but Dan Hughes is well into his work here. Not much backlift for the left-hander, but a real snap through the shot. Stays relatively leg side of it, stays tall. Uncomplicated technique. He's enjoying the pace and bounce here. Makes room, gets enough of it, beats mid-off, runs away for 4.
That's a brilliant shot from Coles. He served Clark the dummy. He initially looked like he was going to move across his stumps over to the offside, then gave himself a bit of room. Clark might have followed him, and yeah.
And again, waited for it. Slower ball, but he was alert to it. Didn't try to overhit it. Let that top hand come through. Controlled, straightish off drive. First boundary for James Coles, who just getting going, but he's looked in good order. Thinking cricketer. 4 more. There to hit on the rise. But again, back boundaries. This is good. This is strong stuff by the visitors. 49 for 1.
But again, using his feet really well, slightly shorter from Clark, and Coles really rocking back to make that ball as short as possible. I really like this from Sussex, by the way, in promoting Coles up to number 3. It'd be very difficult for a young player to make their way in the middle order in T20 cricket, and Coles is as talented as you get. 4 more.
More runs. And it is off the bat, so 3 boundary falls in succession here for James Coles.
He's one of the most highly rated young batters in the country, and I think
by promoting him up to the top of the order, giving him more power play opportunities. That's where everyone wants to bat. It gives him the best chance of success, I think.
And that has to go. He's walked all the way across his stumps. Maybe getting a little bit too greedy. And that's hit on the toe, bang in front of off stump. Easy decision, you have to say. James Coles has got to go, and he's going to be cranky with himself.
Yeah, it's a really good start from Coles, but Clark this time kept it simple, full and straight. Coles, bit of premeditation again, got too far across. And in the end, gave the umpire a very straightforward decision. He's out for 17 off 9 deliveries. Sussex, still a very good start, 53 for 2 from 5 overs.
It is a good start, but he will be so frustrated with that. First 6 overs in a T20 game, it's always a question of push and pull and twisting and sticking and calculated gambles, but having already taken 12 in 3, there's no harm in just tapping it into the onside, consolidating what's already been a good start. Just throws the momentum back to Surrey at a key point, really. And Sussex Sharks, without a batting lineup that screams power, you need your best players to really eke out as much as they have, and he's let that one go somewhat. Hudson Prentice, new man, 2 down, 53. Dan Lawrence. He's become a very, very useful bowler in all formats for his new club here. Bowls wicket to wicket. Some of the more outlandish, stylistic elements of his game sometimes cloud the fact that he's a very accurate and very useful and very tidy and intelligent off-spin bowler.
Well, this is his 8th over in the competition, and so far he's going at less than 7 runs per over.
Down the track, but nothing doing.
A lot was made about his move from Chelmsford here to South London, and Lawrence himself has talked about how actually opportunities to bowl more is something that brought him here.
Reverse sweep straight into the hands of Spencer Johnson, and that is a rather limp effort by Hudson Prentice, in truth. Dan Lawrence is a hard man to sweep, either conventionally or the reverse. And Hudson Prentice didn't convince at all, in truth. He wasn't there for the shot, he didn't get down on the shot, the ball was climbing on him, and he can do nothing more than simply top edge it to the man waiting in the offside 45. And so suddenly 3 down, 54, and Sussex have to think their way through the next few.
Yeah, it's a brave shot from Hudson Prentice. A lot was made of wanting to maximise not just the power play, but the 6th over of the power play as much as possible. And he might have thought that, you know, we're only 2 wickets down, I can take a risk here. But Surrey were a little bit off it in the first few overs of the game, allowed Sussex to have that rapid start. We'll look at the scoreboard now and see 3 wickets in the first 6 overs and think they've done all right here in the opening stage of this fixture. As we see, Ollie Pope has moved himself to slip a good aggressive move from the Surrey captain, really inviting the new man John Simpson to take a risk with his side 3 down early doors.
He's away, finds the gap, runs away, nicely timed. I think it will be pulled in just about, but he'll take 3 to get going.
That's a really good shot from Simpson. There wasn't a very large gap between those 2 fielders in the ring on the offside, but managed to pierce them. Another 3, our 3rd of the day so far.
Key partnership, this. 4 more. Moves into the 30s. Just waited for that, dragged slightly down by Dan Lawrence. You don't have to miss your length by much. And again, it's been a feature of his play all evening. Just stays leg side of it, stands tall and chops down on the ball. Shots all around the park this evening. Needs to push on, though. Okay, power play done, 6 in, 61 for 3. Ollie Pope ringing the changes. It's going to be Sean Abbott from the JM Finn stand end as we look at it. So he's really going through his options here, the skipper. Keeping Sussex's batters on their toes. Nicked and just short, I think, of Jamie Smith's left hand. It would have been a screamer. Rana is just taking a breather, so we're joined by Emma Calvert for the second time this year.
Good evening.
Evening, Em.
Oh, just.
May have just carried, you know. It may have just carried. Could have been one hell of a grab. So deep third is up now in the circle. 3 men on the onside. Bowl just running the fingers across the ball, taking the pace off, as is the vogue now for these middle overs. So just 4 fielders out. In fact, they are moving Tom Curran back now to a conventional deep third, and so 5 men out on the boundary. John Simpson, 2 lefties in now, and Simpson just getting going. Shot that one just shy of leg stump. A bit late on that. I feel like this is a key partnership. They don't have a particularly hefty lower order. Cut away backward of square, but there is cover now, so just a single. Rana has just shown me an update from the game in the T20 World Cup, and the shocks keep on coming. Canada have beaten Ireland. Canada posted 137 for 7 in New York. That still sounds weird when you say it.
It does, yeah.
Bring it on, though. And Ireland finished 12 shy on 125 for 7. Huge win, that. Bullish and beating him all ends up. So yeah, Canada register a huge win against the head.
Can you name a Canadian player?
I could name any number. Aaron Johnson, Navneet Dalwell. Good, this.
Great over from Abbott there.
Yeah, 65 for 3, 7 in. And Surrey tightening the screw here somewhat. So Emma, head honcho of Surrey women's cricket.
Yeah.
Supremo of South East Stars, and selecting your squad for next year. Already a few announcements in the last few days. We heard about Bryony Smith, who's going to be captaining Surrey next year on a 4-year contract, I think it was announced, and another few names as well announced officially yesterday, I believe. Paige Schofield was signed on.
Yeah, 3 more girls announced yesterday, which is really exciting.
Alice Davison-Richards as well. Bold pace off yet again. And Alexa Stonehouse as well, who He's a young, quick I haven't seen too much of, but...
Yeah, left arm, both three incredible talents. Obviously, Alice Davison-Richards, Test match centurion, so good to have her in the ranks. Paige Schofield, since she moved to us from Vipers, has just absolutely flown. 50 at Lord's yesterday, which was nice on announcement day for her.
Slight misfield, but nothing doing, just a single. Sussex Sharks don't need to panic too much here. It's been a decent enough start. Run rate around 9s. Main man, Dan Hughes, is in. Settled on 33. John Simpson is a very experienced, storied cricketer. They don't need to do anything too chaotic just yet. Just sit in for a time. And that was just missing leg stump. Lost his shape a little, did John Simpson, and he's frustrated. Second time he's chopped one just past leg stump, and he's riding his luck here. So is your squad for next year starting to...
It's taking shape nicely, yeah. A few announcements to come still, but no, very happy with the progress we've made so far.
Tom Curran is having a very good tournament, and you can see why. There's so much variety that he offers. No one delivery is ever the same. Bowler of real skill. And they will take a single into the offside, and Surrey are comfortable enough with that. They don't mind that at this point, and so 11 deliveries by Tom Curran, just 8 runs off the bat. He's changed the tempo and tone, really, of this innings. He's gone long. There's a man under it. Easy as you like. John Simpson's struggles are over. He has to go. He was never comfortable out there, and Sussex suddenly 4 down for 68 after a bright start. They're now in a bit of a pickle.
Yeah, another great over from Tom Curran. Definitely deserved that wicket.
Yeah, it's a rather limp way to go, in truth. He wasn't there for the shot. It wasn't entirely clear what he was trying to do. And as we feared with Sussex's rather raw and inexperienced top order, they are up against it somewhat. 4 down for 68. Claire, what have you got?
Well, one of the best moments of the game so far for Surrey. It feels only appropriate that we find ourselves down in some of the best seats in the house, the Kia best seats in the house, perhaps. You've got a full fridge, you've got food brought to your seats. The seats are plush, by the way. The perfect place, you could say, Lawrence, to wave goodbye to your 20s. How is the birthday going?
Thank you very much. I'm having a very exciting 30th here at the cricket. Most robotic answer ever. I'm trying to hold it together because I have quite a lot to drink. So.
It's a very giggly Kia best seat in the house, I've got to say. There's a kind of Greek chorus of well-dressed men and a lovely young woman, of course, alongside. I asked Lawrence ahead of our chat on a scale of nothing to geek where he stood on the cricket side of things, and he's promised me he's a geek. So, parking the inebriation, what do you make of Surrey's performance so far, both this campaign and in this match?
Given the amount of resources that Surrey have on the bowling front and the amount of money in their back pocket, they have got the best bowling lineup in the tournament. Spencer Johnson, Tom Curran, Atkinson, great to watch. Rather be watching than facing.
It's a deep squad, as you mentioned, and the talent coming through is inarguable. Jamie Smith, what a find.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer he's going to be in the Surrey squad, because I'd imagine he'll be in the England squad pretty soon, but I think want to call out Jordan Clark, the way he's revitalised his career, moving from Lancs down here. He's been an absolute find in white ball stuff for them for the last couple of years. Because I'm not a Surrey supporter.
I did detect a bit of a Midlands twang. Where are you originally from?
Originally from Leicestershire, but my squad is Northamptonshire Steelbacks.
You're having such a good time here in the Kia, best seats in the house, that you will be switching allegiances, right?
No, because you've got Tom Curran in the squad, who I can't say I'm a big fan of, given how he ran into that umpire in the Big Bash.
One incident, one time, and you are going out on the Surrey live stream, which is a brilliant bit of programming.
Sorry, fans, but he's an absolute...
Well, you're having a great day here, celebrating your 30th. What have you made of the fan experience at the very least?
Easily the best ground to watch cricket in the country, without question.
There we go. Well, he's ended on a positive note, and I'm very pleased too, because things have taken a real upwards turn out there for the Surrey boys. Let's head back to our commentary team and get stuck into the next over. Lawrence, happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks to Kia as well for this fantastic setup. Appreciate it.
Brilliant stuff by Claire. Outstanding professional work there.
Lawrence didn't hold back, did he, in his best seat in the house?
No, he didn't. It's his special day. It's his birthday and he can cry if he wants to, right? It's going to be running away fine. In fact, it might go all the way. And it does. He just got enough on that. And so more useful runs. It's a lone hand here, really, by Dan Hughes. He's on to 46. 80 for 4, 9 gone. Reference to a Greek chorus.
I know.
Very good stuff by Claire. So, yeah, crowd building all the time here. It's a nice balmy evening, slightly cloudy, but will absolutely set fair. And you feel like they absolutely need to post something around 170, put 90 odd across the next 11, and then they feel like they have something to bowl at. So much is down to Dan Hughes. Tom Alsop is the new man, and he's getting the strike back to Dan Hughes immediately. That's all he needs to do, really, and just hope that Hughes has a day out. 46 from 33, a useful hand, but there's a lot of pressure on his shoulders here, you feel. And again, feature of his game, stays leg side and chops away. Dan Lawrence throws his head to his hands because he thought that might have crept through and tickled the off stump, but nothing doing. It's a good battle, this, between the two of them. Spin now from both ends with Cameron Steele and Lawrence. Advances, smashes it through the offside. That's a glorious shot. That might be the shot of the day.
And that brings up his 50.
Yeah, 35 deliveries. Real classy knock. Hasn't overhit it. Only gone airball once or twice. Picked up Spencer Johnson off his hit for 6. Aside from that, it's been controlled, classy, orthodox batting.
Yeah, he's looked in complete control so far.
Leg side, and that will run away for 4. Lawrence is disappointed with himself. He's let that one go. Leg buys, they all count. Valuable runs here. So Nathan McAndrew, the Aussie bowling all-rounder, is next man in. Certainly carded to come in next at 7, and you feel like an explosive hitter, if you can hold him back for the last 3 or 4 overs, last 5 maybe. Shot, punched hard down the ground. Long on is straight, and so no boundary for. Got another couple of runs.
Yeah, McAndrew's second season at Sussex now.
Yeah, it's a quick bowler by trade, but strikes at 150 in T20. He'll be there for a good time, not a long one though. OK, 91 for 4 then at the halfway point. It's all Dan Hughes. Surrey ringing the changes. And we're going to do the same up here in the commentary box.
Changing pace for Surrey. Gus Atkinson into the attack for Cam Steele. Outside edge, and that just evades Jamie Smith behind the stumps, and that race away for 4. The boundary's coming nicely now for Sussex. But on Nathan McAndrew, Sussex had a real pickle last year, because when Steve Smith came over as their overseas, they had 3 overseas players at once: Pujara, Smith and Nathan McAndrew. And Sussex's problem at that point in the Championship was they were struggling to take 20 wickets to win games. So there was a real case for dropping one of Smith and Pujara for McAndrew. I think in Smith's first game, they didn't quite take 20 wickets in the game, and Smith didn't get many runs, so there was a really strong case to say, had McAndrew played for Steve Smith, Sussex would have been better off.
That is a big decision to make.
Flicked into the leg side. They briefly think about 2, but decide against it.
Yeah, McAndrew spent quite a lot of time over here now, because before that he was at Warwickshire as well for a season, wasn't he?
I feel like every year there are more and more Australians in county cricket. I suppose this year in the Blast in particular, because the T20 World Cup's happening, it's very, very hard to recruit overseas players. Full and flicked past the man at short fine leg. That's another boundary for Hughes, his 10th 4 in 39 deliveries at the crease. That's the 100 up for Sussex. Dan Hughes very much holding this innings together. 56 not out now.
Yeah, he looks really comfortable out there. Doesn't look like his wicket's coming anytime soon.
And also showing that there are so many different ways of being productive in T20 cricket. He's done it in quite a classical way so far. Bit of width through the offside now.
Beautiful shot.
Really classy innings this from Hughes. Anytime Surrey have urged straight, he's hit them through the leg side, and anytime they've offered a bit of width, he's really thrown his hands at the ball. "13 runs off this over with 1 ball remaining. Short, pace off, pulled into the leg side,
and
in the gap again. A 4th 4 of the over for Sussex. 17 runs off it. They're now 108 for 4 after 11. That run rate is once more nearly 10 runs and over.
Yeah, that was a really big over. I don't think Gus will be too happy with that.
Sussex have found quite a lot of joy so far off the quicker Surrey bowlers, Spencer Johnson and Gus Atkinson, with a brand new ball. Gus Atkinson coming back for what must be the most expensive over of the innings so far. Why do you think Tom Curran and Sean Abbott have had so much success in the last 2 games we've had here? Slightly slower than Atkinson and Johnson, bowling in the middle overs.
Yeah, potentially. I just think Tom Curran especially has just been very consistent. He knows what he wants to do, and he's been very, very economical.
Curran beats the bat again. Batters have found Curran so difficult to get away all tournament. I also wonder, when you go back to the early days of T20 cricket, a lot of people were saying it's a young man's game. But actually, the more we see it, I think experience is so valuable. You can have the skills, but knowing what to do with the skills is potentially more important in this format than any other.
Yeah, and I think Tom Curran's obviously playing T20 cricket around the world now, and that will bring a lot of experience with it.
Yeah, today, just like against Somerset on Sunday, you can tell there's a real clarity of thought with Tom Curran when he starts each over. He's very much conducting the orchestra when he's bowling. He knows exactly where he wants every single one of his fielders. Pace off again from Curran, and it's only a single. 2 from 3 this over. Look at those figures, 1 for 10 off 2.3 overs.
Not
short, and that's pulled into the leg side, and it's another boundary, this time to Tom Alsop. Very similar to one of the boundaries from Hughes in the previous over. Pace off from Curran. Alsop doing really well to roll his wrists over the ball to ensure that ball went in the gap between deep square leg and deep fine leg. Really good batting from Alsop, who was batting up at 3 earlier in the competition. Today carded at 6. Performing a really important rebuilding job with Hughes. Hughes just needs a bit of support. I'm still not sure what a good score is in this pitch, because last week we spent a lot of time speculating what was a good score, because at one point it looked like Surrey were going to get 200, then it was 160. Earlier on in the innings it looked like it would be a lot less than that, and Somerset didn't get close. Full toss. Excellent diving catch in the deep by Jason Roy. Pace off again, I think, by Tom Curran. It's the big wicket of Hughes. He's been the man who's held the innings together. He goes for 65. Sussex 115 for 5.
Yeah, that's a great catch by Jason Roy. He's had to come forward quite a lot to take that.
Hughes briefly had a look at the square leg umpire, potentially asking whether that might be a beamer. But looking at the replay, that was comfortably below waist height. That ends a really important innings from Dan Hughes. Sussex would have been in a lot of bother were it not for that innings. Got a packed house here tonight. Hopefully there'll be a packed house here at the Kia Oval on Saturday the 13th of July. England are playing New Zealand. QR code on the screen now. Scan it, folks. There's still some tickets available. Abbott replacing Atkinson from the Vauxhall end. Pulled into the leg side again, 4 more.
It's not a bad first shot.
He's done very well there. Surrey clearly have the plan of taking pace off a lot in the middle overs, but Sussex actually doing a pretty good job at still scoring boundaries off the slower balls.
Yeah, no, they're keeping the tempo up for sure. Run rates 9.78. I'm sure they'll be happy with that.
Fuller and driven into the offside, and that's raced away for 4. Timed really nicely by Alsop, who's getting into his innings well here. 20 off 10 deliveries. 3 boundaries in no time. 4 boundaries in no time. Tucked into the leg side. Immediately think about 2. Alsop will come back and comfortably makes his ground. Feels like this is such an important part of the innings.
Yeah, definitely. Wicket here for Surrey would change the game.
Yeah, Surrey will still be harbouring hopes of restricting Sussex to a score around the 150, 160 mark. But Sussex equally going at 10 runs and over. They'll be thinking one big partnership here and 200 is still on the cards. Oh, it's a really good Yorker, accurate Yorker from Sean Abbott. Has Alsop, who's seeing it well, off his feet. Nathan McAndrew, who we were talking about earlier, set to face his first ball. 5 men in the ring for the new batter. And gets off the mark. First ball. You were talking to Phil about some of the signings Surrey have announced for 2025. I can't help but notice that Surrey seem to be doing more announcements of new signings than everyone else. What's going on there?
We're just getting ahead of the game.
Nice, good to hear it.
Leading with intent.
Leg side from Abbott, and that's flicked away for 4. Probably would have been a wide had Allsop not got bat onto it. It's another boundary. He started really well, 27 off 13. Sussex now 131 for 5, going at more than 10 runs and over. We have another change in the commentary box. Emma's taking a break, and Phil will rejoin me to take us through to the end of the Sussex innings.
So we go, quick run through the scores. Ollie Carter came and went, 1 from 3. Hughes held the whole innings together, really 65 from 43. Coles flickered, 17 from 9. A duck Hudson Prentice, 6 from 7. Rather tortuous innings in truth by John Simpson. Longish tail, but they're doing okay up until now. And that's fine, really. Nathan McAndrew. Tom Allsop has looked good for his 27 from 13, and so he's your senior man just for now.
He's done really well since coming in. Initially, when batting with Hughes, who was seeing the ball really well, Allsop just got off strike, but since Hughes got out, he's taken the baton from Hughes.
Gone up for it.
Really put his foot on the gas. Decent shout for LBW, that.
Yeah, if anything, it might have just slid on with the arm, perhaps just missing leg stump. Neil Bainton and Dan Lawrence would have been acquainted with one another from the Essex Leagues. Advances this time, and nicely played, actually. Waits for it in the end and cuffs it away into the offside. Good contest this, Yaz, because every time you sense that Sussex Sharks are going to start sinking, then they have come back, and there's a flurry and a mini partnership here. Clubbed somewhat into the onside, won't go for 4. And in fact, it will just be kept down to a single. Good fielding at long on by Jordan Clark back there.
Now, Sussex have been aggressive throughout this innings. We were mildly critical of Finn Hudson-Prentice's dismissal, playing quite an expansive shot first ball, but actually this is how Sussex have managed to be 10 runs and over. They've not been deterred by loss of wickets.
Oh, it was there to hit in Allsop's arc, and he's just played over the top of it. Dan Lawrence will take that. 3 singles from 5 deliveries. Can he get out of this over here? And that is a wide. Yeah, comfortable decision. Lawrence sees the funny side. It was a rather chaotic piece of cricket, in truth. And that's not too bad. They're coming back for a second, have to hurry, make the ground comfortably. Nathan McAndrew had no doubt about it, running to the danger end. So a couple to finish off. 14 gone. 137 for 5. Hanging in there, the visitors.
It's a good over from Lawrence, though. Just 6 runs from it, following a big over at the other end.
Yeah, Surrey Cricket's WhatsApp channel. Scan that QR code, folks. You get all kinds of goodies by signing up to the WhatsApp channel. Exclusive interviews and clips and highlights. Second glance as well, which is a new feature which is going really well this year. And you even get a picture of Dan Lawrence's pearly whites as well. Look at that, he's had a bit of work. So it's going to be Spencer Johnson back into the attack. 2 overs for 16 up front. Picked up that first wicket of Ollie Carter with a I was going to say a Jaffa. He didn't actually do that much, beat him for pace, I would say, but it didn't quite look quite as aggressive as he appeared on Sunday night last week, where he was lethal, I thought, with the new ball. But he's got 2 overs here. Pick up a single, of course. Mid-on is right on the edge of the circle. So not a bad result to get Allsop back on strike.
Surrey were a little bit restricted in their options and thinking on Sunday, given they were defending a total of 163. They had to be aggressive. So I think on that occasion, Spencer Johnson bowled 3 overs up front with a new ball. On this occasion, he's got 2 overs held back at the back end of the innings.
Yeah, so he's got 2 men out on the onside, 1 at deep square, 1 at long leg. So for that, angled into the left-hander with the pickup shot. So he has 2 men covering. Behind square on the offside is a tasty area, you'd say, for the left-hander. He's taken him on and he's got a lot of it. That's gone all the way. That's a stunner. Oh, and the crowd sighs. Someone was under that, yes, and they've grasped it, unfortunately, but what a shot. Again, anticipated, I think, the line that Spencer Johnson was going to serve up. And Allsop was playing a very canny innings here indeed. He's got inside it and climbed into it. Echoes of Roy Fredericks back in the 70s. Trust me on that. Gorgeous shot, one of the shots of the night. Yeah. 1-4-4 for 5.
I think Allsop anticipated not only the line but the length, the field that Johnson had.
Beaten for pace this time.
No, that's better from Surrey. For the previous delivery, we just had a field change. So for the ball that went for 6, there was no one on the boundary on the leg side in between deep square leg and long on. So if Johnson was full at all, it was a very easy shot for 4 or 6. You've got to beat just 1 fielder in the ring. So Allsop would have known, with that field, expect something short. And now we've seen the man go back. Johnson's probably got more options at the top of his mark.
It's back with a square, but the boundary rider is quick to it. And he makes his ground comfortably. 2 more. Good by Allsop, retaining the strike. OK, so you are Spencer Johnson. Where next? You've got your 4 men out on the onside. That's the longest part of the ground. Where are you going next?
I think you've got more options when you've got all 4 men back. So full...
So in at the body. Slower ball this time. And Allsop's good for it. Happy enough just to take the single, having cleared the ropes earlier in the piece. And so 1 delivery left of the 15th. Tidy over for the Sharks. Nathan McCann doesn't have to do anything too funky here. Just got to play for his partner. That'll do. It's driven hard and past mid-off 4. Waited for it, lowish full toss, it was there to hit. Didn't have to over-hit it either, just stayed in the shot. Got enough of it, beat Dan Lawrence. 4 more. 1-5-1 for 5. 3/4 of this innings gone.
Really good shot from McAndrew. That's a very handy over for Sussex. You think Spencer Johnson coming back into the attack, the gun overseas. He's only got 2 overs left. Do you see him out? But no, Sussex get 14 runs off that over. Very, very handy over. Maintaining that run rate of around 10.
So, Gus Atkinson back into the attack. 2 overs for 31 earlier. He bowled fast. But as can happen, the faster it comes, the faster it goes. Served up a couple of wide ones to the left-hander, Dan Hughes, who climbed into it. No run this time. Yeah, again, conventional field now at this point. 3 men out on the onside. Got enough of it. And in fact, he gone all the way. Flat and hard over Cow, if you like. 6 more. Brilliant stuff here by Tom Alsop. What a handy knock this has been.
It's a game-changing knock. Following the loss of Hughes, who held the innings together up until the point of his dismissal. You're worried for Sussex a little bit. Could someone continue what Hughes was doing? And Alsop has gone one better, if anything.
Short again this time. Bit more spice to that delivery. Feel like block hole might be the answer here for Gus Atkinson, because this pitch, it sits up and asks for it. There was a sense perhaps that it was slightly tacky, I thought, on Sunday night against Somerset, but this looks like an absolute belter. And I know, before you write in, it's the same pitch, but the properties can change, right, across the course of a week.
Sussex have really enjoyed pace on throughout this innings. Both Atkinson and Johnson, the two quickest Surrey bowlers, expensive.
Short again and clubbed into the onside. 6 more, what a shot.
And that's his 50. 25 ball, half century from Tom Alsop. What a knock this has been.
Outstanding. 25 deliveries for his 51. 5 fours, 3 sixes, and emphatic sixes as well. Felt like he was waiting for that. It was a rather telegraphed drag down by Gus Atkinson, who's perhaps just getting a bit uppity with himself. Clubbed again into the onside. 4 more, 1 bounce into Big Lee Fortis's lair down there. The great head groundsman here at the Kia Oval. He's seen it all before.
Surrey got to be careful here. It's a couple of really big overs in a row off their 2 marquee quick bowlers. 14 off Johnson's last over, 16 off this Atkinson over, with 1 delivery remaining. Atkinson, 2.5 overs, none for 47.
Can he get out of this over here? Alsop will say thank you very much, retains the strike.
And credit has to go to the Sussex management. They've made a couple of changes for this game. 1 in personnel, bringing Archie Lenham into the side. We'll get to see the impact of that. But they changed the order. James Cole's moved up to number 3, and Tom Alsop, who'd been the number 3 in the first 2 games this season, moved down the order to number 6. Extraordinary partnership this. 53, as you see on your screen, but 44 of them have come off the bat of Tom Alsop, off his 19 deliveries. McAndrew playing a fine hand at the other end. Don't underestimate the job he's doing. 8 off 5, 1 boundary in there, so 4 off his other 4 balls. So doing his job nicely.
Yeah, considering as well, Tom Alsop went 0 from 2 balls and 8 from 8 in his competition up until now, so it was a bold move. Must have been hitting it well in the nets. He's certainly hitting it well out there. 56 from 27, outstanding stuff. Cheeky, beautiful, impudent, a little bit naughty.
That is an extraordinary shot. That is full, maybe even outside leg stump from Sean Abbott. And Alsop has just flicked his wrists and flicked him over backward point.
Somewhere Rishabh Pant is watching our feed and saying, oh, I'd recognise that. Manages to get a toe ender on that. Might not have been a wide because he moved so far across his off stump. But he's seeing it clearly now. What a shot. What a shot, yes.
And what an innings. Just maybe 15 minutes ago with Emma, we were talking about Surrey potentially wanting to restrict Sussex to a sub-160 score. When you take the 5th wicket with a score of just 115, that's a very realistic prospect. But Alsop hasn't consolidated. He's just gone harder and harder. And Sussex can dream of a 210, 220 score.
Get into the onside, but he doesn't get much of it, so just a single.
And now, with only 3.5 overs remaining in the innings, the wicket column is less worrying from a Sussex point of view.
Yeah, you're right. It's been so impressive. It's an attitude thing. I think they've rocked up here at the Kia Oval, playing against an outstanding side here. 3-0 already, this Surrey side, and they've said, look, you've got to gamble, right? You've got to back yourself. Even with a couple of wickets fall, you've got to keep going.
Well, it's the modern way. We saw yesterday, we mentioned the Pakistan-USA game, but Pakistan, the key phase of that game, they lost 2 early wickets and then had a 6-over period where they were going at 4 runs and over. When a game goes to a super over, which they eventually lose, that's the part of the game where they really lost it. And more in T20 cricket, you're seeing teams who are 2 down early on, like Sussex here today, they're like, we're not bothered. We've got to get up to around 200 if we can. And you can't give up on trying to get to that total too early. There's a risk in trying to consolidate.
Yeah, absolutely that. Tom Alsop, though, is having a night to remember here. His record in T20 is OK, but not great. Strikes at 122, averages 24. Recognised more as a red ball cricketer. But that is the beauty of 2020 cricket, and especially on this particular stage as well. I think when players come from out of town and they turn up here, there's a bit of pep in the step. They know that they'll be playing in front of basically a full house. But the eyes of English cricket are often trained on this ground, and if you can perform here in this kind of cauldron, then you can take your game to another level, and you're seeing it just with this kid here. As I say, he's a red ball cricketer really by trade, but this is an innings of a high-class player, and it might just be what he needs to kick on. They need a player around which they can hold an innings, and perhaps Tom Alsop could be that man.
No, 100%, 100%. And it's not just the venue or the setting, it's the calibre of the opposition bowling attack. If you can do it against this Surrey attack, you can do it against anyone in the domestic game.
Be Lawrence again. And they'll pick up an easy single off the pad, I think. Yeah.
Small McAndrew gets off strike, gives the strike back to Alsop. You're seeing it like a football. Lawrence into his last over of the day. 3.1 overs, 1 for 20 so far. Interesting that Surrey are using...
He's coming back for 2 here, Yaz. Throw to the keeper's end. Well run. And so he retains the strike.
Interesting that Surrey are quite comfortable using Lawrence relatively late in innings. It's not often that you see a finger spinner bowl over number 18. I suppose as a batter himself, he'll think like a batter. And so much of his skill in T20 cricket as a bowler is understanding what the batter's trying to do.
But he's hard to get under, because he's quite a tall bowler, and he uses all of his height, and he has that elaborate jump in his action. It means that he can really spear it down at you. It's hard to get much elevation in these latter overs. Canny move by Ollie Pope. Nick that one, and that will run away. There's enough hand speed to muscle that ball down to the deep third boundary. 4 more. This is his night.
Yeah, Dan Lawrence will think he's a bit unlucky there, inducing a false shot, but there's a bit of width, and as soon as Alsop saw that width and not a lot of boundary protection in front of square on the offside, he was always going to throw his hands at it. Gets the 4, not necessarily in the way he planned to, but 4 runs nevertheless.
Bit more flight this time, well bowled. This is good stuff by Dan Lawrence. Perhaps been the pick of the bowlers. Going to be picking out the man, and so this superb innings by Tom Alsop ends on 68. Dan Lawrence deserves that wicket. That was a superb over. He's really played his hand as the Surrey all-rounder, but the crowd will acknowledge a superb cameo here by Tom Alsop, which has really elevated this innings, pushed Sussex Sharks well past what they would have been happy with at the halfway point, and up towards certainly 200, you would think, from here. They'll be disappointed not to get over the line. But whatever happens from here, Surrey are going to have one hell of a chase on their hands, and it's largely down to Tom Alsop.
It's such a good innings from Tom Alsop. When you're 115 for 5 after 12 overs, it must be so tempting to just try and consolidate for a few overs and then reassess. But as soon as Hughes fell, who was going so well at the other end, Alsop just went through the gears. And Sussex, instead of being content with a 170, 175 score, which from 115 for 5 is still very good going, they're eyeing up something potentially north of 200.
Foolish, and playing over the top of it is Nathan McAndrew to Sean Abbott, who's back into the attack. Yeah, 4 overs, 2 for 26 by Dan Lawrence, just 3 boundary fours. Impressive work, just going at a tick over a run of ball. Tom Curran as well, brilliant in the middle overs, 3 overs, 2 for 15. They've been the standouts up until now. That was a chance, you know. Very tricky, very hard as well on your follow-through, just to get your bearings as much as anything else, but he did get a good palm to that. Perhaps didn't come quite as hard as he may have expected. Yeah, it would have been a screamer.
Yeah, he did very well to even get a hand on that. Ball went in the opposite direction of where his body weight was going.
Punched tidily by new man Jack Carson into the offside. We'll pick up a couple.
Yeah, extraordinary 6th wicket stand. The last 50 runs in that partnership came with just 23 deliveries. It's a very interesting set of bowling figures for Surrey at the moment. Dan Lawrence, 4 overs, 2 for 26. Tom Curran, very economical, 3 overs, 2 for 15. But elsewhere, it's been tough going for the Surrey bowlers. 4 of them going at more than 10s.
Slow ball bouncer, well bowled. Gets away with it though. Picks up a single.
I think a couple of times in this innings, Surrey had a plan that Sussex have pushed them off. I think the bowlers using the power play is not what we saw against Somerset. Spencer Johnson bowled 3 up top against Somerset. But also, Surrey were very content using the slower ball, and Sussex have been really aggressive against it.
He's let that one go by, and wisely so.
Alsop in particular, really good at pulling the ball in between the deep fielders on the leg side. And there are times
he just hit it so clean, didn't he? Time after time.
And there were times when you could tell that Surrey didn't quite know what to do in response to it.
Foolish, got under it. He's got enough of it. That clears the man, and he's taken in the crowd in the first row. Thank you very much. Collect your winnings, sir. Yes, please. You might regret that jumper tomorrow morning, but what a screamer. It was there in the slot, but a lowish full toss is hard often to get that elevation. He's hit enough of it as Nathan McAndrew. And he's timed that as well very tidily. Won't go for 4. Atkinson is able to do the work, but a couple more. And so 200 is definitely on the cards with an over to go, 196. Can they even inch a little bit further past that 200 mark?
Take a look at that 6, but also that catch again. He's taking it in one hand.
I think he has, yes.
That's a great little interaction between him and Gus Atkinson. He's obviously having a moment of his week. I
think it was. I think he's gone one-handed. Yeah, there you go. Lap it up, sir. Everyone's moved away from his seats as well, just to give him the full theatre. Beautiful. Over to go. That's out of here. Jack Carson, thank you very much, and a massive cheer. I think we have another 2 in 2.
And that's the 200 for Sussex as well. Carson wasting no time to get going in this innings. Tom Curran has been so impressive so far. It's in the slot. Carson has swung hard and he's cleared the really long boundary. Cow corner the leg side. Well bowled from Curran.
Yeah. Rather lost his shape there, did Jack, but...
So we've had 2 crowd catches in the space of just a couple of balls. On the first one, great interaction. So the guy who's called it's having the time of his life. Gus Atkinson, who's going at 16s, just wants the ball back. So 2 very different moods there.
Bowled in off the inside edge. Useful hand though by Jack Carson. Got him up past 200. Don't go anywhere. This is going to be a fascinating chase. Surrey have been challenged here and there across their first 3 games. They lost 3 up front in their second game before Jamie Smith took it away from them, and they spluttered a little as well last week against Somerset. Similar story. It's going to be one hell of a chase if they can pull this off. Any team with scoreboard pressure, even on a flat one, even at the Kia, chasing anything north of 200 will be one hell of an achievement. And so do stay with us for this second half.
100%, and even though Surrey are 3 from 3, they've not really got going with the bat. Jamie Smith has bailed them out on a couple of occasions. Last 2 games striking above 200.
Yeah, Ollie Robinson then, 3 deliveries to go, 202 for 7, good score.
Handy man to come in at number 9.
And jabs down that well bowled, Tom Curran, excellent. Yeah, he's been a cut above, really. Even with that clubbed 6 over Cow that got this over going, he's still only gone for 22 from 3.4, just 2 deliveries left of this innings. Yeah, he's a bit of a maestro in the middle overs, is Tom Curran with the white ball. Banged in, hit hard, gone again, 6 more. You feel like McAndrew was waiting for that. Slapped hard, 7 sixes. 7 sixes in this innings. It's a big playing area. It's a sign, I think, of how true this track is. I don't think it's the end of the 6 hitting this evening. So, 1 delivery remaining. Banged in again, top edge 4, thank you very much. 2-1-3 for 7. They've done that very, very well indeed. They've not taken a backward step at any point. They were tottering at 54 for 3, 68 for 4, into the 8th over, and they just kept on coming at you hard. Runs down the pipe. A very tidy 65 from 43 by Daniel Hughes up top, and a sparkling hand hitting at 194 by Tom Alsop. 35 balls for his 68. 3 6s, 8 4s, and useful hand as well at the end by Nathan McAndrew. Sussex's seamers, mixed bag in truth. 3 overs for 30 by Spencer Johnson. Picked up that first wicket of Ollie Carter early in the piece. Gus Atkinson had a day to forget with the ball. 48 from his 3. Tom Curran was excellent, although he'll be ticking a wee bit, having given up 10 from his final 2 deliveries. Still, he went for 31 from his 4, picking up 3 wickets as well. Jordan Clark 1 for 14 from 1. Sean Abbott went for 41 from his 4. Dan Lawrence was excellent, I thought. 4 overs, 2 for 26, and just a single over by Cameron Steele. So, Yeah, it's Rana. We're in for a sparkling chase.
Oh, absolutely, and fair play to Sussex. They kept going harder each time they lost a wicket. They were absolutely determined to ensure that if they lost a wicket, they weren't going to let Surrey get away with a couple of quiet overs. So it meant that despite the loss of 3 wickets in the power play, as Phil said, losing their 4th wicket after 8 overs, their 5th wicket after 12 overs, they just kept coming at Surrey, and there were points in that innings where Surrey weren't entirely sure what to do in the face of that Sussex aggression. You know, we talked about Allsop, we talked about Hughes, but what a hand that is from Nathan McAndrew at the end. In a similar vein to Allsop, actually, when he was batting with the set batter, his plan was very much just get the set guy on strike. But as soon as Allsop fell, McAndrew took it upon himself to be the boundary hitter, and he went hard. He went hard and finished on 29 not out of 15 deliveries.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how Sussex go about it with the ball, because they have a couple of seriously good seamers. They have Tamal Mills, who's the skipper now, of course. He's been hitting block holes and helmets for 10 years and more. He's still got serious pace. He's a very intelligent cricketer as well. He's seen all this before. Ollie Robinson, who's really starting to come into his work this season after a relatively sluggish start with the red ball. Bowled brilliantly against Yorkshire in the championship game a couple of weeks back. And he's really looking to try and push on his white ball career here. So, again, be interesting to see what kind of version of Ollie Robinson comes out this evening.
Well, 2 games into the Blast season, Robinson's not played a lot of T20 cricket recently because of his test commitments. He's been really hard to get away. I think we can expect Robinson to do what we're used to seeing him do with the red ball. Hit a really hard length, get the ball to nip both ways, and he'll be hard to get away. He'll be really, really hard to get away.
2 spinners as well. Jack Carson is a very, very good off-break bowler. Tall, strong, muscular kind of action. He'll be doing the Dan Lawrence role, if you like, getting over the top, making it hard to get under him, hard to really advance down the track as well.
Yeah, and a reminder, folks, that coming soon on the 30th of June, so what's that, pretty much 3 weeks away, Surrey are hosting a festival of red ball cricket at the Kia Oval. It's Surrey versus Essex in the County Championship. The top 2 teams in Division 1, just a couple of points separating those 2 sides at the halfway point in the season. The 2 premier sides of red ball cricket really over the last couple of years, and here at Surrey, here at the Kia Oval, they're really encouraging people to come along for that game. Look online on the Surrey social channels for full details, but I'm pretty sure they've got a few deals where it's cheap and potentially even free for members to bring in guests. But do check the details of that on the Surrey website and their socials.
Yeah, Surrey have had 34,000 people through the doors across their first 4 home championship games, which speaks for itself, really. And in collaboration with Essex, they've come up with this excellent initiative. Get behind it. Before we get on to matters of the second half, let's check out the best bits from the first. Picked up into the onside, and that will run away. Got enough of that. Was there to hit. Picked up, beats the man as well comfortably. Forget about that. 10 yards back. Bowled in. Thank you very much. Driven into the space, beautifully timed, slightly uppish. 4 more. There to hit on the rise.
Coles is as talented as you get. 4 more.
More runs. And it is off the bat. And that has to go. He's walked all the way across his stumps. Reverse sweep straight into the hands of Spencer Johnson. He's gone long. There's a man under it. Easy as you like. John Simpson's struggles are over today. It's his birthday and he can cry if he wants to. Right, it's going to be running away fine. In fact, it might go all the way. And it does. He just got enough on that.
Full toss. Excellent diving catch. Pulled into the leg side again, 4 more.
It's not a bad first shot.
Behind square on the offside is a tasty area, you'd say, for the left-hander. He's taking him on and he's got a lot of it. That's gone all the way. That's a stunner. That'll do. It's driven hard and past mid-off 4. Got enough of it. And in fact, he's got all the way. Flat and hard.
And Johnson, the 2 quickest Surrey bowlers, expensive.
Short again and clubbed into the onside. 6 more, what a shot.
And that's his 50. 25 ball half century from Tom Alsop.
Going to be picking out the man. And so this superb innings by Tom Alsop ends on 68. Foolish, got under it. He's got enough of it. That clears the man. And he's taking in the crowd in the first row. Thank you very much. Beautiful. Over to go. That's out of here. Jack Carson, thank you very much. And a massive cheer. I think we have another. 2 in 2. Bowled in off the inside edge. Useful hand, though. Banged in, hit hard. Got again, 6 more.
We're just a few minutes away from the start of the Surrey run chase. 214 to get for Surrey. And a reminder of the Xbox Power Players leaderboard. Folks, you can get involved. All you need to do is predict which Surrey player will get the highest individual score across the season and also the best bowling figures across the season. Jamie Smith leading the way so far. These are for home games only. So Jamie Smith's 87 leading the way by some distance so far. In the chase of 214, this could be the day to do it for someone else to pip Smith or Smith to go one better himself. Phil, we have one hell of a chase on our hands.
Yeah, we do. And it's good, I think, for this Surrey side to be really pushed hard. They haven't chased anything like this. They haven't needed to chase anything like this yet in this tournament. And it's going to be fascinating, especially with the top order. Jason Roy just feeling his way back into the setup. Laurie Evans as well. Beautiful player up top. But again, just finding his way a bit. Immense amounts of experience for those two. Jason Roy carded at 3, of course, now. But again, it's hard to keep your eyes off the lad at number 5. It's possible that he may even move up the order, perhaps, if Surrey get off to a good start, but the run rate begins to increase and maybe holding Ollie Pope back. But it's going to be absolutely fascinating. This is what you want to see in this tournament. You want to see the best teams forced out of their comfort zone. And it couldn't be set up better, really, because as we were saying at the start, Sussex Sharks, you look at that side and you say that's a bowling side. That is a side where they can hunt you down rather than pummel you with the bat. Well, they've put 2-1-3 on the board. And so, if Surrey are going to do this, it's going to be electrifying to watch. Dan Lawrence is now, it looks to be, to me anyway, that he's ensconced now at the top, but he hasn't got going yet with the bat. He's been brilliant with the ball. He's been very good in red ball cricket, but he hasn't yet got going. 1 or 2 strangles. He was caught down the leg side in his first game. Picked out deep square, deep deep backward square leg in the first game at home last week. But as with good players, they're due, right? This is the way it works.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely fascinating to see how the opening 5 or 6 overs goes. Sussex, captained by Tamal Mills, international quality bowler. They will open the bowling with Ollie Robson, who we know how good he is with the red ball, averages 22 in Test cricket, but mightily effective domestic T20 bowler. And that's what we said, folks. Robson will do exactly what he does with the white ball, with the red ball rather, with the white. First up, an absolute beauty to Laurie Evans, pitching an off stump, forcing Evans to play at it, and then just a bit of a nip away from the right-hander, who does very well not to nick it.
Yeah, that's a pearler first up. When he's into his groove, he's an effortless bowler.
And he's really charging in, Ollie Robson. He's a rhythm bowler. He's a sort of guy who, genuinely one of the best red ball bowlers in the world when he's bowling 81, 82 miles per hour. Not quite as effective at 77, 78, which we've sometimes seen in bowling Test cricket. And you can sort of tell what sort of day he's having by how he runs in. He's really charging in first couple of deliveries here. He'll challenge both the outside and inside edge of Evans. Inside edge this time. Yep. Straight to the man at short fine. 3 dot balls to start for Sussex.
Yeah, bang on cue there, Yaz. There's just a bit of wobble in the air. Just feinting to leave him and then just coming back off the seam.
He's incredibly skillful. We've both talked to him a few times, and he talks about controlling which way the ball wobbles off the seam. Bit of width this time, though, from Robson, and Evans throws its hand at it and pierces the gap just behind square on the offside. He picks up 4. A welcome boundary for Surrey. They're 4 for none after 4 deliveries.
Yeah, just a drag down there. Just lost his action a tiny bit, trying to force it a bit. Looks in good shape. I mean, it's an ongoing discussion, isn't it? The physical attributes of Ollie Robson.
Evans uses his feet this time, but can only hit it straight to Tamal Mills at mid-off. Yeah, Robson has actually started really well in the blast so far. Just 1 wicket from his first 2 games, but he's been very economical. 0 for 25 in his first game against Gloucestershire. 1 for 17 off 3 overs against Glamorgan. So going pretty much a runner ball from 7 overs so far in the comp.
Good. That's good by Ollie Robson.
Very, very good start for Robson. Just 5 runs off the first over. Evans will retain the strike. Surrey 5 for 0. Keep an eye on that required run rate. Already, it's up to exactly 11 runs and over. Sussex were very, very good in their innings at ensuring that there were very few quiet overs. There were maybe 1 or 2, but not more than that. And for the 3rd game in a row, James Coles will open the bowling for Sussex from the other end. We're picking up his batting, but we know that England are interested in his spin. He's another, almost in the Dan Lawrence mould of predominantly a batter, but tall, and he'll fire the ball into the pitch. Evans off strike, so that brings Dan Lawrence on strike to face his first ball of the day. And gives himself a bit of room, hits it over mid-off, picks up 4. Lawrence immediately into his work.
Yeah, he doesn't hang about as Dan Lawrence. He's an utterly selfless player. Perhaps that's why his record doesn't scream out as a white ball player.
Into the offside, quick single. And he's someone I think who's T20 cricket becomes more and more aggressive. T20 cricket is almost aligning itself with the Dan Lawrence philosophy. Evans tries to give himself room, but Coles does well to follow him. 6 off 8 for Evans. Can't take too long to get going when you're chasing 214. Goes big this time, in the slot, and that's gone for 6, into the pavilion. A little bit too full from Coles. And Evans needed no invitation to throw his hand into that one. Authoritative strike over mid-on. 6 runs. Oh, it's a missed chance from John Simpson. Really nice bit of bowling from James Coles. Evans using his feet. Coles brought his length a little bit back. Beat the batter. But John Simpson, normally so good behind the stumps, unable to complete the chance on this occasion.
Yeah, you don't say that often. Probably the pound for pound, the best gloveman probably in English cricket. Certainly up there in the top 2 or 3 before anyone from Surrey writes in. You're all thinking it, and I absolutely agree with you, but John Simpson is right up there. He'll be frustrated with himself there.
Robson continues. Driven nicely down the ground. Well cut off by the man at mid-on. I really want to see Sussex give Robson at least 3, maybe even 4 overs on the trot with the new ball. When you're defending a score of 214, you can be tempted into almost being a bit defensive with the ball, but I'd almost go the other way. Get Robson bowling the overs where he's most effective. Evans looks to be inventive.
It's not a bad option against Ollie Robson because he hits that hardish length, so the thinking is pretty sound, but you have to be right on it because he's unerringly accurate. I thought he may have even just caught up with it, but nothing doing. Fresh air shot in the end.
Part of what makes him such a hard bowler to face is the bounce he gets. He's a very, very tall man, which makes playing shots like that particularly difficult.
Bowled
him! Robson strikes. He'd been threatening to do that, nibbling the ball in both directions, beating the outside edge one ball, beating the inside edge the next. This time beats the inside edge. And Sussex get the early wicket of Laurie Evans.
Yeah, look, it's a beauty. It's a break back. It's gone like an off break, really. It may have tickled the inside edge, but he was beaten neck and crop regardless. Clips the top and middle. It's been an excellent spell. A statement spell, really. It's mystifying, really, how little white ball cricket Ollie Robson has played. I think there was a tiny inside edge there, but he loses his shape on the shot. And as you say, Yaz, he's been bothering the inside edge right from the get-go here. Deserves that wicket. Jason Roy, the new man in.
Yeah, I think we've actually seen a trend in English cricket over the last year or two that new ball, red ball bowlers like Ollie Robson have had a lot of success with the new white ball. We've seen Dan Moore have a lot of success in the 100 and the SA20. Craig Overton has really come on leaps and bounds as a white ball cricketer in recent years. And Robson, he's not played much white ball cricket, partly because he's been involved in every England Test squad over the last few years. I think he's only played, this is his 8th T20 game since he became a Test cricketer. So he doesn't get the opportunity to show what he can do with the white ball, but he's kept it simple. He's doing what he does best, and he's causing problems. 1 for 6 of 1.3 overs. What a start from Robson. Jason Roy, the new man in. Tries first up. It's a misfield from the captain, Tamal Mills, amid off. Should really have covered that. It means that Jason Roy starts with a boundary. It was a crisp shot from Roy. Didn't totally time it. Should have been cut off.
Yeah, it should. Disappointed by the skipper. He will know that just releases the valve a little.
Robson drags back his length as Roy advances down the ground. Roy can only defend it to the man at shortish third. Impeccable start from Robinson. When you're defending 214, 1 for 10 off 1.5 overs is a very, very handy start for your new ball bowler.
It's important delivery, this. Final delivery of the third.
Slightly leg side this time, but Roy can't get it away. It ends an excellent over from Ollie Robinson. Just 5 runs off it, 4 of them from a misfield. Surrey 22 for 1 after 3 overs. Really, really good crowding tonight. 25,000 people in. Friday nights at the Kia Oval, they're always fun. We could have a serious game of cricket here, folks. Surrey chasing 214. Sussex started the defence very well. 22 for 1 after 3, Surrey. McAndrew to the attack.
Yeah, famous last words, but I think it's a decent move to pull James Coles out of the attack. I think Dan Lawrence would have been looking to really get after the left-arm spinner. And so, entrust it to your seamers. More of the same, really. Hit that length. Bit of nibble with the new one. See where you get to.
100%. We've seen Robinson get the ball to nip both directions, and McAndrew first up. That ball came into Lawrence. Lawrence gives himself room. It's aerial. And straight to the man at deep third, who takes a very good catch. Hudson Prentice diving forward. Lawrence looking to be aggressive. He's got to be aggressive. Surrey chasing 214 and early on, already behind the rate. Goes for an expansive shot. Can't get hold of it. Both Surrey openers now gone early. 22 for 2. And in real bother.
Yeah, 3, 13, 3 and 6. That's Dan Lawrence's returns with the bat so far. So he's not got going at all in this tournament just yet. As I say, he's a selfless player. And so he will go for everything. But again, just as we saw him pick out the man at deep square in the early part of the innings against Somerset, so the same thing happens, only this time on the other side, skewed off the outside edge. And a decent catch, kept his nerve, tumbled into the catch as well, deliberately. And it's going to be Ollie Pope with a bit of a rescue job.
Yeah, played a fine hand against Somerset. Playing second fiddle to the explosive Jamie Smith at the other end. Chasing 214, I don't think Surrey can afford that this time round. It's been a really good start by the Sussex, seamers. Ollie Robinson from one end, McAndrew backing up his mate superbly so far at the other. And they're keeping things simple, Phil. So often in T20 cricket, you see new ball bowlers really searching for swing, and when they do that, often serve up the odd loose delivery as they really flick their wrist to get the ball to move. But McAndrew and Robinson haven't really looked for that much swing. The movement that we've seen has generally been off the pitch rather than through the air. And again, length ball really from McAndrew. And Pope flicks it into the leg side and will pick up 3 to get off the mark.
But there's much to be said for it. We saw it last week on this same track with Mark Wood in particular who, when the lights started to take effect and a bit more of a glisten on the pitch, a bit more spice off a length, you didn't have to do anything too funky necessarily. If you have the pace and if you can hit the seam, then it can really carry through. It's been old-fashioned seam bowling up until now, but it's doing the trick.
And again, just keeping things simple, Sussex. On the attack as well, slip in play for Jason Roy for that delivery. 4 runs off the first 5 deliveries from Nathan McAndrew today. Very impressive start. Surrey yet to get going in the run chase, 26 for 2 off the 3.5. And again, back of a length, Pope, as he did against Somerset, playing tip and run, gets a single, which will mean he'll retain the strike. Sorry, 27 for 2 after 4 overs.
Yeah, he lived a little dangerously initially against Somerset. There was 1 or 2 kamikaze runs, red ball runs, as they used to be known. But I can understand why, because he's trying to get into his season a bit, as Ollie Pope, and by the end of it, by the end of his innings, 40 from 31, he was looking in very fine fettle, I thought, and with a player as classy as him, sometimes you just need half hour at the crease where your feet start to go, get a bit more comfortable in your balance and your movements.
This will be a fun battle. Robson to Pope. Pope used his feet first up, drives nicely through the offside. He'll pick up 4.
Yeah, I love that, yeah, it's because he recognises where Robson is going to bowl, but you've got to be lightning quick on your toes. And he's run at him to try and get on the half volley. He knows exactly where it's going to be. It's fine by Robson to try and just keep pummeling that length, because, as we say, any nibble at all and he's in the game. But Pope is alert and alive to it. As you say, 2 of England's finest coming up against one another. This is the kind of stuff that we want to see on a Friday night.
Fascinating battle between 2 key England Test cricketers. Robson this time getting the ball to angle into Pope. Yeah, 2 figures who've been central to the English Test cricket story over the last couple of years. 2 guys who think a lot about the game, a lot about their own game, the technical side of the game, perhaps more than most professional cricketers, actually. Robson into Roy. Roy looks to use his feet as well, flicks it through the leg side. He's timed that really nicely. It runs away to the boundary. He picks up 4, his 2nd boundary.
Yeah, it's a signature Jason Roy shot, isn't it? Drives with a very straight bat through straightish mid-wicket. And when he's playing well, the top hand just holds in the shot.
Yeah, Sussex on the attack. Left the leg side area vacant. Change in field now. Slip has come out. He's moved to short mid-wicket. Robson to Roy. Still very, very good from Robson, giving little away.
I wonder if they're going to bowl him through here. Do you think so?
I'd like to see it.
I think it makes sense for me.
Because you're forcing Surrey to take risks. Robinson's a very hard bowler to get away. And you can't just give Sussex overs when you're in Surrey's position, so they'll need to take risks, as they have done this over successfully against Robson. Because if you don't use your feet, if you're not proactive, it's very, very hard to score runs off him.
The other thing is that he has a magic ball in his pocket. There's always that possibility with Ollie Robson. He gets good players out in all forms of the game, and while you can be inventive and you can smother the length, if you like, there's also potentially one with your name on it, and the ball is only 5 overs old. I would throw him that 4th over, personally.
Goes full, really clever bowling from Ollie Robson. Anticipated that the Surrey batters are likely to have a good idea of where the ball's likely to go, and then mixes things up with an accurate Yorker to finish the over. 9 runs from it, 2 boundaries in it, but Sussex do not mind 9 run overs, particularly in the power play. Surrey 36 for 2 after 5 overs. Yeah, we were talking about the 25,000 attendance here today. Loads of kids, loads of families in through the gates this evening. Great atmosphere in the ground. Watching some high-class cricket. McAndrew in. To Pope. And that's gone for 6. What a shot from Ollie Pope. We were just speculating a couple of overs ago, would this match situation almost liberate Pope? We saw him make a name for himself initially here at Surrey as a teenager in the blast, and this is one of his signature shots. Reverse ramping the ball, a full delivery from Nathan McAndrew for 6. What a shot that was.
Yeah. It has a lot of Joe Root in it, but there's more of a snap in the wrists than with Root. Root checks it. Whereas with Pope there's a synergy of Butler and Root, if you like. With Root, it's almost deliberate. He kind of there's an elegance. Whereas with that, there's the forearm smash element to it.
But also when Root does it, it's when he is fairly confident it's going to be a length ball. In the T20 game, I guess that's what McAndrew bowled in the previous over. But what's so impressive, actually, that was really full. Very hard to get underneath it and really scoop it that far. But a really proactive start from the Surrey captain. 15 off 8 deliveries.
Just going back to Robinson, I was just looking at the speed gun. A couple touched 80, most around 78, 79. And it's a question, isn't it, around him and whether he has enough pace to be a really effective international cricketer. And if you like, yes.
Catch.
Sorry, it's a question which goes well beyond him as well, and there's a constant discussion around county cricket. Rob Key says we almost have to disregard performances in county cricket from bowlers of a certain pace. I think he might be being slightly provocative when he says that, but it's followed Robinson around, and yet to the eye test, it looks so much sharper. Perhaps it's the height, it's the nip off the pitch. To the eye, it looks much faster than that.
Yeah, I think the other thing with Robinson is that in a post-Anderson world, Anderson basically didn't go for anything economy rate-wise for years and years and years. Even if he wasn't particularly threatening, he could keep an end tight. And Robinson also has that skill, and I feel that when Anderson was in the side, that trait of Robinson was potentially not as valued as it should be.
He's been really, really impressive tonight, I think, and as I said earlier, he's looking in good shape as well. He's been quite open about the importance of the physical work he's now doing.
Nicely played by Jason Roy. Gave himself a bit of room. McAndrew followed him, but Roy managed to use those wrists to flick it past the man at short fine leg to pick up his 3rd boundary. That is the end of the power play. Surrey 47 for 2, chasing 214. Change of bowling. Ollie Robson doesn't get a 4th over on the trot. Captain Tamar Mills brings himself into the attack, bowling to Ollie Pope. Just keep an eye on that required run rate. 11.93 runs per over. Before this over, 1 off the first ball. It's up to 12. 2 runs a ball required from Surrey from here and in.
Wickets in hand are the key, though. when you have the power of Sean Abbott down at number 8, man who made a 39 ball 100 last year.
Length, and that is punished from Jason Roy. That's gone 10, 15 rows back. In his area, in his arc. Aggressive from Roy. Gave himself a little bit of room. His first 6, he moves on to 19.
Some vintage Jason Roy this evening. 2 boundary falls and that's 6. And all those memories start coming back.
Earlier in the week, Jason Roy posted a video on his Instagram page of him just murdering balls in the net. And it wasn't on the official Surrey channel, so this was a bit of personal promo. And I was watching that, it must have been a minute and a half video, thinking, crikey, he is seeing the ball well. He might not have had the scores yet this summer, but my word, he was nailing it. He started well tonight, 20 off his first 11 balls in the middle. Short and pace off from Mills. We saw Surrey go to that tactic with mixed success in the Sussex innings. But Mills, one of the best users of the slower ball in the, not just domestic game, but world game. Very, very unlucky not to find himself in the England World Cup squad, actually. Started brilliantly this season, the Blast, leading wicket taker after the first week or so. 8 wickets from his first 2 games. What do you think the game plan is for Mills here?
Well, I like the idea of going around the wicket, cramping Roy a little bit for space. If you like, goading him to try and go over the 3 men who are out there on the onside, on the angle with the left arm coming into the right-hander's pads. I like that tactic. I think left arm over to a right-hander, you can sometimes just free your hands, give yourself a bit of room against the quick, and he is quick. So it's block holes and slower ball bounces. Pope's moving nicely.
It's the end of Mills' first over, 11 runs from it. Sorry, 58 for 2. Yeah, I guess in T20 cricket, as a bowler and as a captain, you're trying to protect areas of the field as much as possible. And when you're bowling from around the wicket, as we see Surrey here, in comparison to Sussex, actually doing OK. At this point in the innings, Sussex had a few more runs, but not many more runs. And they'd lost 1 more wicket than Surrey have at this point in time, so...
Oh, this is going all the way. This is going to be a very, very tight and electrifying finish.
And we have a change of bowling. Archie Lenham into attack, still just 19 years old. Yeah, I think when the rate got up to 12 in the last over, I was going to say that the rate at which teams get nervous has changed. Teams are no longer scared. They don't get panicked when they see 12 on the scoreboard. I think previously, if you go back 4 or 5 years, you'd see teams lose their heads a little bit once it got to more than 2 runs a ball. But now, sides across the world, we're seeing records broken on a nearly weekly basis in the T20 game. It's a good start, this, from Lenham. Roy looks to pull that into the leg side. Just 1. Just 2 runs off the first 3 balls of the over. Sussex will be hoping they can just quickly sneak through the odd over here or there. Pope looks to scoop that, reverse scoop that past the man at deep third, but doesn't get anything on it. 2 from 4 this over. Good start from Lenham. Really crucial ball this, you feel. 3 runs off 5 this over. Sussex allowed Surrey to have very, very few quiet overs when they were batting. Goes to the big shot. Doesn't quite carry. Just 1 run to finish the over. Excellent start from Archie Ledham. Let's head to Claire.
Well, we are in the Kia best seats in the house, and they really are exactly that. You've got this bottomless fridge situation. The food gets brought to you. The view is spectacular. First time at the cricket, first time at the Oval. You've been spoiled rotten here. It's fair to say that anything else will be a bit of a come down.
I have. Very nice experience. It's been very, very nice. Lots of treats. Good day. Yeah.
Do the rules make sense? Have you been given good explainer by the boys?
I've been given a little debrief, slightly in one ear at the other, but I am, when there's someone of interest, they're being pointed out to me, and I am taking note. Apparently we've got a very quick bowler going on at the moment.
You absolutely do. You've been paying attention. Very good stuff.
To keep an eye out for, so I've been trying to watch him.
Safe to say you'll be back for more?
Absolutely, yeah. It's been a great day.
I'm so, so pleased to hear it.
Pope looking to be offensive again. This time gets the ball away, picks up 2. Well retrieved by the Sussex fielders. Hunting in a pack. Cole's taking pace off the delivery. Overpitched by Coles, but Pope can't get it away. Really good little spell here from the Sussex spinners. We have a change in the commentary box. Phil is taking a break. Katherine is joining us. How are you doing, Katherine?
Hello, yeah, I'm all good, thank you. Good game to come to on a Friday night.
Looks for the reverse sweep, but that's swept straight to the man at short backward point. Full and Roy can't get that one away. It completes another very good over from Sussex, the second over in a row where just 4 runs have been scored. So we've got Katherine Robson here, a former player and coach here at Surrey. You just mentioned Friday nights at the Kia Oval isn't a better place to be.
It's always been a great night to come here on a Friday night. The more we have them, the better the atmosphere. It's just great to see.
Well, Pope goes down the ground, nails it, picks up 4, welcome boundary for the hosts.
And just having a busy stadium, it's always great. It always has a great buzz around it as well.
Sorry, a bit behind the rate here. Do you think they still got a chance?
It's Surrey. we can always bring it back.
Let him continuing. Swept hard by Pope, beats the man at short fine. He picks up 4 more. Sussex captain Tamal Mills applauding his bowler though. Clearly happy with him sticking to whatever the plan they have. We've got another big fixture here at the Kia Oval in a few years' time. Do you want to tell our viewers all about it?
Yeah, so Tuesday, 11th of June is our local derby against Middlesex. It's London Cup.
Annual fixture?
Yeah, annual fixture has been running for 9 years. So this will be the 9th year we had it. Started in 2015, sort of when the white ball cricket sort of came into for the domestic programme. And when we had Emily Rainford-Brent come in as our director of cricket, she decided to set this game up. Yeah, it's just a local derby game, and it's just been an annual fixture, which has been great. Unfortunately, we haven't won it as many times as we wanted to, but I'm hoping Tuesday will be a third name on the trophy for us.
Swept hard from Roy. Is that a chance? It's a diving effort from Ollie Carter in the deep. Given the way he's thrown the ball away in anger, it suggests it was a chance. If it was, it would have been a very difficult one. Swept hard and low from Roy. I'm not entirely sure it carried. It's a good effort from Carter. So does that make it 6-2 to Middlesex? Okay.
Yeah.
We won't mention that.
Well, no, last year got rained off.
So more cricket coming away here at the Kia Oval. England versus Sri Lanka, 6th to the 10th of September. There are some tickets available for day 4. England, wherever they're playing in the world at the moment, always box office. If you can get down there, folks, I would highly, highly recommend it. Coles to continue. Follows Pope, who gets down one leg again, looking to sweep behind square into the leg side. Bit slower from Coles, and Pope can only score one. Katherine, you were confident earlier, but even in the last couple of minutes, that required run rate's gone up above 14 runs and over.
I know. Hopefully some magic will come from these two out there. And also we've got depth in our batting lineup as well. So everyone can chip in and go for it.
Yeah, so far the Sussex spinners having a lot of success. Only 5 overs of spin bowled for Surrey. Coles beats Pope again. This is already the 5th over of spin in this innings. And between Coles and Lennon, they're going at less than 8 runs and over. Oh, a good bit of fielding on the boundary from Ollie Carter. Had to cover a lot of ground. The supporters behind him giving him a bit of grief. Do they think it's touched the rope? Hard to tell from that angle. Fired in by Coles. It ends a very, very good over again from Coles. Surrey 82 for 2 and up against it. As I take a break, I'll be replaced by Phil.
Katherine.
Evening.
Yeah. This will take one hell of a chase if Surrey are to pull this off. I know they can almost make it routine to defy the odds, but at this point, with that run rate required only going one way, it's going to take something spectacular.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit tricky, but fingers crossed.
So Tamal Mills brings himself back into the attack from the far end as we look at it. James Coles looked good. Left arm darts around the wicket into the right-hander. Showed a bit of ticker as well, taking the first over from that far end. It's got big on Ollie Pope. Managed to find the gap, so he will come back for a couple. Poor old Ollie Carter's getting some pelters out there from a crowd which is certainly getting into its work as well as Surrey's back. Jason Roy, 26 from 21. He's hit a couple of kind of signature Roy shots, but you feel like he's really got to get going here if Surrey are going to get close to this target. Run rate's now 15s. That'll do nicely by Oliver Pope. He's run hard at Tamal Mills and slapped it straight back past him. So, much needed boundary. A few more of those required. Pope's look good. His feet have moved comfortably. The weight has been transferred into the ball. He's looking like his old self here. I'll tell you what, there's more runs back for the square this time. He's going to come back for another couple. Slightly errant throw. Yeah, this has been good by Ollie Pope.
It looks like they've cut off his little reverse hits on the back, so scooping it's sort of going to be tricky for him. So
yeah, exactly that. It's a very fine deep third. Ollie Robinson down there, not quite a backstop, but not far off. Neil Bensbaton has called a wide there. Tamal Mills might be wondering what he's done to offend that umpire, but it was touch and go. Every little helps here for the home side. Just 7, in fact 8.2 overs remaining here and 123 still required. It's a serious equation. Slapped into the onside. He's going to want to know. He is going to come back for a second and he's got to hurry. The dive in the end wasn't necessary. He's lightning quick between the wickets.
They're struggling for the boundary, so these two is going to be vital to try and get that run rate.
That's what he's so good at, Ollie Pope. He's so alert to the situation. He doesn't have the power of other players, although he's added certainly a bit of muscle to his game, but he's so inventive. He knows where the gaps are. Jamie Smith, we still haven't seen him. He looms large in this cricket match. Jason Roy's faced just 21 deliveries in the best part of 12 overs, so he's been starved of strike. And he'll continue to be as Pope picks up a single to retain the strike. 8 remaining then, 120 required. Yeah, it's been a noticeably young and youthful and vibrant crowd in tonight. It's been a feature of these games for some time now. Certainly, we saw it last Sunday evening, the number of youngsters in. The doubleheader last week, of course, with South East Stars kicking the afternoon's entertainment off. And it's a cracking atmosphere out there. It's just a joyous place to be on a Friday night. The word is out. Archie Lenham. It's well bowled, right in the block hole. And so, Ollie Pope's 50 comes up. Rather muted applause. I think the crowd are enjoying themselves by this point. 35 deliveries for that 50. It's been a good knock. Needs more. Needs to really step on it now, as does Jason Roy. 21 deliveries for his 26. It's clubbed, but straight to long on, and it's gone. Straight down the throat. It's been a slightly sluggish effort at times by Jason Roy. Some sparkling shots in there. He's been starved of the strike, perhaps a little frustrated out there. You can sense it, he's kicking the ground. He's ticking. Didn't quite get going. But it does bring the man of the moment to the crease, Jamie Smith. It's a tall order even for a player at the peak of his powers, but if anyone can pull it off in English cricket at the moment, it's this kid. I guess you'd have seen him since he was a boy, Katherine.
Yeah, phrase that. Yeah, I have. So obviously seen him down at our cricket centre at George Abbott. He'd be down there training twice a week, and also been in and around those evenings.
Was he always a standout?
Yeah.
Even as
a youngster, yeah,
right.
both with the gloves and with the bat. He's just been, just keeps pushing those barriers and keep growing and growing with confidence, and just his skill level as well. It's been brilliant to watch.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time, you feel, until he breaks into the Test side. He's obviously already picked up a cap. And there you go. That'll just clear the boundary for 6. Thank you very much. One delivery, 6 runs. A bit of a drag now by Archie Lennon, but when you are seeing it as clearly, and when your mind is so clear and unblemished, and everything is just an invitation for your own brilliance. Jamie Smith already into his work. 7 from 2 brings Ollie Pope back onto strike. That required rate is loitering around the 14-15 mark. They can't allow it to get away from them any further. In the slot. Thank you very much. That's a beautiful shot by Oliver Pope. It's gone a long way back as well. Didn't overhit it, didn't have to. It was perfectly in the slot. Just extended the hands. Majestic by the Surrey skipper. He's back. I guess he would have been another Katherine that you'd have seen as well.
Yes.
Seen him come through.
Yeah,
You've seen them all.
I've seen quite a few of them, yes, come through, and it's great to see them out performing in this environment as well.
Make that 2 in 2. Oh, the ball bounces shy of the fieldsman, 10 yards back. But these are the moments, 1 or 2 big overs, and the complexion of this run chase can shift on a dime. So, 3 maximums from that over from Archie Lennon. It was a gamble to bring him back, but they have gone with a spin-heavy attack, so they had to throw the dice, really. It's going to be more spin. It's going to be Jack Carson bowling right arm round. They're going to try and cramp the right-handers to that long boundary. Hit into space. And he's going to come back for a second, and he will make it, I think, with a direct hit. May have been in trouble, but nothing doing for the fieldsman. So, 9 from 3, Jamie Smith. Surely he can't pull this off. Well bowled by Jack Carson, sliding across the right-hander, and Jamie Smith can only angle it into the offside for a single. Shot. Slapped hard. That's a classic Ollie Pope shot when the top hand guides and the bottom hand snaps through. We saw it a lot in India, of course, over the winter against the spinner. It's a shot he likes to play. That went airborne and that flew off the bat. 66 from 38. Telling knock this. Doesn't get much of it this time. You can see the thinking. And at this point, everything must go. They have wickets in hand. That's the key, isn't it, Katherine? They have wickets in hand.
Yeah, definitely. We've got, obviously, Sean Abbott's coming as well, and other batters. So I think we've got... could live on a hope. Just need these two to really kick on now. You definitely saw a change in Ollie when Jamie came out and hit that 6. It just definitely changed tempo for him.
That's more runs, that's flat and hard. One back, in fact, that's gone all the way. That's a skimmer. 6 more. It's like this game was just waiting for Jamie Smith to emerge into it.
Definitely. Sure.
16 from 5 deliveries. Low full toss this time. Bunted up to long off, just a single. Keeps the strike, Jamie Smith. So, 1-2-9 for 3. One, 2-9 for 3. Laurie Evans went early in the piece alongside Dan Lawrence. 12 and 6 to the openers. Jason Roy is a cameo. Played some eye-catching shots, but didn't really get going too much. 26 from 22. But with his dismissal, Jamie Smith has come in and just upped the ante here as Katherine exits the box. She always sorted me out a net, you know. She always got me a free net, the Ken Barrington Cricket Centre, so she's one of my heroes of the Kia Oval. So, James Cole's left arm spin, bowled well up until now, 3 overs for 22. Block hole again, well bowled, but it does beat the man, it will run away, 4 more. Pope stays low on it. Jabs that low full toss past the man, an extra cover, 4 more. Yaz, this is on.
It is on. We were talking earlier about how teams don't panic when the required rate is in 12s. When Jamie Smith came in, the required rate was 15.5 runs and over. It's now down to 14.12.
A rare dot ball, clubbed into his own foot, I think. Looped up.
He scored 19 off 4 after the loss of Roy.
Dragged down, deliberately so. Pope stayed in the shot, but didn't get much of it. Nonetheless, he's still back for 2, and that's fine. That's fine.
These two put on a really important partnership against Somerset on the weekend. A feature of that partnership and a feature of this partnership already is they're running between the wickets. It's not just the ball striking. They're eking out every possible run out there.
Foolish again and on the stumps. Pope frustrated with himself just to get a single because he felt that that was in his slot. Well bowled though. Yep. Excellent amidst the carnage really out there. James Coles has stuck to his guns. Can he get out of his spell? 1 delivery to come. Dragged down, towed a little, and he's got in! Jamie Smith has to go. It was off the toe. I guess you have to mistime 1 delivery every couple of months. But that is a sudden blow here, and you can hear it in the crowd. Stunned and becalmed. Everyone assumed that Jamie Smith was just going to turn up and get it done yet again. Well, he's mortal, folks. I have news for you.
The pressure was building from that over from Coles. I mean, 2 really, really good overs from Surrey. Coles brought back into the attack. Started the over really well. 8 runs off the first 5. Smith had to take the aggressive option. When the asking rate is nearly 15 runs and over, an over that only goes for 8 is a very big deal. There's not much wrong with that delivery. Fired in again from Coles. Smith tried to get underneath it, but Q ended it to the man at long on who took a straightforward catch running around. Still not over though.
No, no. Jordan Clark is the new man. I thought they might have gone with Sean Abbott, but similar attributes, these two. Pope is your man tonight. Well bowled, Tymon Mills, very good. Just a single. It's not what Ollie Pope wanted from the first delivery. As we enter the final quarter of this enthralling run chase, really. It's been a cracking game of cricket.
So we've got 4 overs after this. You'd imagine Tamar Mills will definitely bowl out. He's got 1 more after this.
Ollie Robinson's got 1.
He's got 1, and Nathan McAndrew's got 2.
He's been round the block as Tamal Mills many a time. International class. He's a thinking man's bowler.
Desperately unlucky not to be in that England World Cup squad. The two death over options that England opted to go for, Sam Curran and Chris Jordan, both Surrey players, but also both guys who backed. That was probably held against Mills a little bit when it came down to selection. But as a pure death bowler, there are very, very few bowlers like him in the game. And already just 3 balls into the attack, that required rate's gone to 16.44 runs and over. Yeah, if we're comparing the two teams in this game, Sussex's additional options in the spin department has played a big role here. They could really suffocate Surrey in those middle overs in a way that Surrey weren't quite able to do, despite how well Dan Lawrence bowled.
Hit hard into the covers, but straight to the man. Frustrating for Jordan Clark. He got a lot of that. Was in the slot. But the man is relatively straight there on the drive. So, 2 deliveries to go of the 16th. You feel like they both have to go. Certainly one of them has to go to the boundary, and Ollie Pope is the man to deliver. It's on 76. Foolish, but he can only hit it up to long on for a single. It's not what he wanted at this point. And he's on his haunches, he's frustrated. It's been a sparkling knock.
It's not often that you show that sort of frustration when you're 77 or 46. Career best score, by the way, for Ollie Pope in T20 cricket. He didn't play a single game of T20 cricket in 2023.
Yeah, he's been starved, really, of white ball cricket for such a good player. I know he's desperate to establish himself. Sussex will take that every day of the week. Final delivery of the 16th, of the 15th, and Jordan Clark will be retaining the strike. And as you can see, the worm has turned. So Surrey were not too far from striking distance, and when Jamie Smith was enjoying himself, especially against the spin of Archie Lenham, you felt like it was going to go all the way down the pipe. Now it's going to take something extraordinary. It's not impossible, but with 24 deliveries left now in the innings, you feel like you need something spectacular. There needs to be one over, 126 run over.
Just to keep them interested, really. Yeah. Nearly 18 runs and over required from here. And since James Cole's returned to the attack, 8 runs came off his last over, took the wicket of Jamie Smith. The energy in this run chase has really gone.
Not got much of it. I think it will be taken. Yeah, running round. Good catch. They're fielded well in the outer. Jordan Clark's got to go.
Yeah, Nathan McAndrew back into the attack, digging one into the pitch. Clark took on the fielder at deep square leg, unable to clear him, and it's James Coles, outstanding with the ball, takes an important catch.
So, another nail in the coffin. Tom Curran it is. He's turned himself into an excellent finisher, as well as a superb white ball bowler in the middle overs. But the equation is stark here. 23 deliveries remaining, 71 required. In the IPL, with 50-yard boundaries, you'd say, OK, it's a 50-50. Not here. I tell you what, though, it's not going to be the man. It's Coles again. Thank you very much. Got a fair amount of it, but not enough. 2 in 2. McAndrew to Coles. Thank you very much. This game is falling away from the home side, and Surrey's unbeaten record is seriously under threat now. Nathan McAndrew, 2.2, 3 wickets for 16.
Length ball from McAndrew, leg side, Curran looking to take the man on again, had to take the man on with the required rate, what it is. And Phil was talking about the 50-yard IPL boundaries. We don't have them here, folks. There's a long boundaries on both sides. It's a big hit, square of the wicket. And Curran couldn't quite beat the man at deep square leg, who takes his second catch in as many deliveries. Nathan McAndrew on a hat-trick.
Yeah. So no change is necessary. The fieldsmen are out right on the rope on the onside. What does he do here? Block hole, another slower ball.
Same again, I reckon.
Drag down. Still, they don't mind a single at this stage. You can sense it in the crowd. Some of that energy is just dissipating here.
This place was buzzing when Ollie Pope hit those 2 sixes in a row. 2 deliveries after Jamie Smith hit his first ball for 6. You sense that something special might be on the horizon, but Sussex have put the fire out of this Surrey chase very effectively.
That'll beat the man. Useful boundary. Ollie Pope moves into the 80s.
Sussex's execution in this innings has just been bang on throughout. Robson set the tone early, bowled maybe 1 bad ball in his 3-over spell. From that point on, Surrey have always been behind the rate. The spinners squeeze the game in the middle overs. We're in miracle territory here. It's nearly 20 runs.
Here with the men up. Nothing doing on that delivery. So a dot ball. Yeah, well bowled though again by McAndrew, because he's brought fine leg and deep third up into the ring, and so running his fingers down the side of the ball, taking all the pace off, would make it difficult for Ollie Pope to engineer anything behind his shoulder. Will he try this ball nonetheless? Could be his area. Dot to finish. Brilliant, brilliant stuff by Nathan McAndrew. Sussex have been inspired all night long.
Even though they've had plans, as we look at the worm, the Bakerloo line veering further and further away from the Piccadilly. 2 dots in that over. Surrey now 148 for 6. But Sussex have had their plans, but I don't think they've been predictable as well. Like when they've taken pace off, it's not just been into the pitch. They've mixed up their lengths. And predictability is one of the greatest crimes you can commit as a T20 bowler.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But Ollie Robson set the tone. When you have a bowler as naturally accurate as him, then you have to respect it. Doesn't matter how good you are, you have to respect that. Block hole, jabbed into the onside. Abbott running hard, but only a single.
But in that opening spell, the dynamic was fascinating. If Surrey were chasing, say, 160 to 180, you respect that spell, you get through it, try to limit the damage. But when you're chasing 240, you feel like you have to go. And Surrey lost those 2 early wickets, and as soon as they lost those 2 early wickets, they were so far behind the 8 ball. Ollie Pope threw it all, 81 of 49. What a hell of an innings.
Outstanding. It's a joy to watch. Smile Mills. Joy to listen to as well. One of the best commentators, young commentators out there. He really does think his way around a game of cricket. You can understand why they've entrusted him with the captaincy. I think it's a really clever move.
And also someone whose experiences of T20 cricket were probably ahead of those experienced by most English players, bagging a massive IPL deal quite early on in his career.
He'll take that, Ollie Pope. That'll run away.
Brings up the 150 for Surrey.
8 boundary fours and 3 sixes. If nothing else, Ollie Pope is back in sparkling form.
Yeah, I think the most encouraging passage to play with those back-to-back straight sixes of Archie Lennon. Because I think Pope, whatever form he's in, is brilliant playing those reactive scoops. When Pope is at his best, you see him on the front foot really taking the game on, as young Archie Lennon does a bit of digging, crawls under the cover to retrieve the ball. How old do you think Archie Lennon will be before we stop referring to him as young Archie Lennon?
Well, he's a young-looking young cricketer as well.
Yeah, 19, been on the circuit now for a good 3 or so years. And Mills' slower balls are so effective, more so because of how quick his pace on balls are. In the last couple of overs since he's come into the attack, he's given away 12 runs from 10 balls. The only boundary he's conceded was an inside edge that we just saw there. But the majority of the balls that he's bowled have been pace off.
Yeah, it's a really good point that you make. He's only conceded 2 boundaries and a 6 throughout his whole spell. And with 1 delivery left in his spell, he is seeing Sussex home, you feel here. The game is done, and it's been an outstanding effort, really. They batted with pluck and invention. They've stuck to their plans with the ball. They've got a varied and interesting bowling attack. And in Smell Mills, they have not just a quality cricketer, but a thinking cricketer as well. And this is a statement win here.
Yeah, before today, they'd only played 2 games. It was quite hard to make out how their campaign was really going. But leaving the Kia Oval with a victory to go 2 from 3, very, very handy. And a reminder, our next home fixture here at the Kia Oval is against Gloucestershire. Same time next week, 6:30 start. There's still some tickets available, folks, so get your phone out, scan the QR code and get yourself down here. No better place to be in South London at 6:30 on a Friday.
So, a couple of overs remaining of this one. The energy in the chase has fizzled out somewhat. There is a subplot, I suppose. Can Ollie Pope bring up a maiden 100 in the format? There's 11 deliveries left in the game. He's 86.
Yeah, and this is his first significant run of T20 cricket in a very long time. I was looking it up in the previous over. Didn't play a single game in 2023, just 6 in 2022, and just 5 in 2021, and nothing in 2020.
More runs. That'll be 4 of them. Moves into the 90s. Sean Abbott said after the win last week that there's a bit more to come. We haven't quite clicked as a unit yet. I think you're seeing evidence of that tonight.
Yeah,
2 players finding form, searching a little for form.
100%. I think Surrey's first 3 wins were built on, in 2 of the games, Jamie Smith's runs, but they've been very impressive with the ball.
Clothed into the offside, but he'll... No. He's rather sold his man a dummy there, and he's massively cranky with himself. Sean Abbott has to go.
It's also a no ball.
It's also a no-eat.
So lots going on. Yeah, Surrey didn't have quite the same control in this game. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is above waist height.
Yeah, it's just about a fair call.
There are a couple of phases where Surrey let the game get away from them, and Sussex made a lot of progress in a short space of time. That hadn't really happened in the opening 3 games.
It was a tight one. He was out by an inch or 2. So, Cameron Steele, the new man, to bring us home here. 9 deliveries left, 52 remaining, still needed, and so the game result is academic now from Surrey's point of view. But it will be a personal triumph if the skipper can get up to that elusive first 100 in the format.
Pace off, again working a treat. Free hit for Cam Steele, first ball on strike. Gandu takes all the pace off the ball. Steele swings hard. To no avail.
Perhaps it's fair that we get a bit spoiled by watching a lot of cricket here in South London, but again, what an advert for the Blast. We've seen 2 games here in the last week, and the quality across the board has been superb. There aren't too many easy games out there, even for a side as strong as Surrey. You know, when they can bring other players back in.
100%, and you know, obviously Surrey 3 from 3 going into this game were favourites, but there's some incredibly high quality passes of play. At the start of this innings, when you had Ollie Robson and Tamar Mills bowling in tandem to Jason Roy and Ollie Pope, you know, that is international quality cricket. The scoreboard showing that the required run rate is above 36. It doesn't bother telling you the details once it gets to that point. Just 36 plus.
So, Cameron Steele. A 2 or a 4 or a 6 or a dot. Not that.
It'll be a 1. Cam Steele retains a strike with his captain unbeaten on 91 with 6 deliveries left in the game. The point now secure for the visitors.
So quick run through other games in the south. Essex require 62 from 60 deliveries against Glamorgan at Chelmsford, but they're 5 wickets down. So that still needs a little bit of work. Ollie Robson then to finish up here. That's good enough for Cam Steele. So 5 deliveries, 7 required for quite a hefty consolation prize for the skipper. He won't admit it out loud, but this will be a significant moment for him if he can get over the line here. 6 down now, Essex, still needing 62. Hampshire beat Gloucester earlier, comfortably chased down 124. Got to run hard, Cam Steele, got to run hard. Fumble. And so Pope retains the strike. 5 needed. There's always a game within a game.
There must be an element of Ollie Pope feeling a little bit sheepish that this is the situation the game finds itself in. There's been no indication at all from Pope that he's bothered by this milestone. He's not been farming the strike or anything.
Ah, there you go, yes.
Until then.
Well, he has every right to do that. Yeah, just briefly, Kent look like they are going to defeat Somerset. They need just 24 from 17 balls. You never know, but they're in the box seat there with 5 wickets still in hand. Clears the man, runs away, 4, up to 99.
It's a great shot from Pope. We know how much he loves playing that reverse ramp. This time, pace off from Robson. Pope had to do a lot of work to inject some energy onto that ball. Did well, actually, to clear the man at short third. He moves on to 99 not out off 60 balls.
I don't think he's hit that. Oh no, he has. He has. That's it. He knew. So Ollie Pope brings up his maiden T20 100. It's been a beautiful innings, really. From just 61 deliveries, it won't result in the win that he craves. Nonetheless, after a relatively quiet start to his red ball season, he's really blossoming here with the white against the white. It's been a stunner, really, in a losing cause, nonetheless. It's Sussex's night. They've played some outstanding cricket, disciplined, but sparky as well. They were creative and inventive with the bat. They gambled at key points. They didn't ever go into their shell. And having posted 2-1-3, it was always going to be a challenging total to chase down. That scoreboard pressure was working against Surrey. That and a superbly disciplined and canny and clever bowling side led by Tamal Mills, who is building something, you feel, here. It's not a side that is overflowing with big names. But if this is anything to go by, they'll play for each other. They have a couple of players that they can hang an innings on. Tom Alsop emerged with a sparkling knock, really, a game-changing knock in the middle order. And with bowlers of the quality of Ollie Robinson, Tamal Mills, Nathan McAndrew and so on, you've always got a chance. Statement win here at the Kia Oval.
It's also so much easier to build something when you've got a clear, distinct team philosophy. And it was really notable in that innings that they weren't put off by the loss of wickets. They were going to bat aggressively no matter the scenario. And even though they lost early wickets, they kept going hard. They got harder. They went harder and harder actually when they lost wickets. Tom Alsop played an amazing innings. There would be a point where Sussex would have been totally entitled to consolidate after they lost the 5th wicket, to aim to build something around 170, 180. But they weren't content with that. They wanted something more, and they got it. 213 for 7. Surrey were always up against it in the run chase, but Sussex started so well with the new ball. Ollie Robinson in particular, impossible to get away. He picked up the early wicket of Laurie Evans. Nathan McAndrew at the other end got rid of the other Surrey opener, Dan Lawrence. And from that point on, the required rate was in excess of 12. And then the Sussex spinners did a really good job in just squeezing the middle overs. Even though Surrey only lost 2 wickets in the first 12 overs, by the point at which Jamie Smith came to the crease, the asking rate was 15.5 runs and over. And I know that Jamie Smith's in decent form, but that's asking a lot. So Sussex rewarded for their positivity with the bat, and then with the ball, just a thoroughly professional performance where everyone stuck to their task. There was one moment actually when Archie Lenham got hit for 2 fours in a row, and the second 4, so if you look at the figures, Archie Lenham went at 11s, but he got hit for 2 fours in a row, and his captain Tamal Mills was applauding him. So they clearly had a plan, and Mills, marshalling this quite a young, inexperienced team, clearly did a very good job at instilling his bowlers with confidence.
Yep, much of it was set up as well by Ollie Robson, who I thought was excellent with the new ball. He kept it simple. He hits the seam. He bowls that heavy ball, and with a bit of nip and movement, he got rid of Laurie Evans to really set Sussex on their way. I'd say Surrey would have begun this game as red-hot favourites, really. If you looked at the two sides, for star quality in particular, you may have felt that Sussex were up against it, but they've been class, really, from top to bottom. As we run through the scores again, Laurie Evans cleaned up by a beauty from Ollie Robson. He may have got a tiny inside edge on it, but cut him in half, 12 from 12. Dan Lawrence's struggles, really, in the tournament with the bat continue. He made just 6 before skewing an attempted cover drive down to the man at deep third. 2 catches for Hudson Prentice. In fact, 3 catches in the top 5 for Hudson Prentice. Jason Roy sparkled at points, 26 from 22, but struggled to get going in the middle overs, starved of strike, really, in truth. He put on a few with Ollie Pope, but it was really the emergence of Jamie Smith that gave this crowd belief that Surrey could pull off another mini miracle. He hit his first ball for 6, and he hit another as well, cleared the ropes, but just managed to just toe, not exactly a drag down by James Coles, but it was a ball that was there to hit, and he would have fancied it, but it just maybe stuck in the pitch a tiny bit, just took the bottom of the bat and was taken tidily at long on. So he went for 18 from just 8 deliveries, and after that, the game was done, in truth.
Something to keep an eye out after the game, folks. Ollie Pope raised his bat because he thought he got to 3 figures, and we've got a discrepancy. The scoreboard in the ground, both boards showed that Pope got to 100, but our graphics here say that Pope actually only finished on 99 not out. I'm on a reputable cricket website that tells me that Pope finished on 99 not out as well. So it may be that Pope has celebrated a first T20 100 that he's yet to actually score. So keep an eye out for what the stats men say after this.
Yeah, we didn't see any indication from umpire Neil Bainton to indicate a bye.
No, but it wasn't that. I think it was a scorecard discrepancy.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
The build up to it.
Yeah. So our scorecard had Pope on 98 before that ball, so that was definitely a run off the bat.
Well, it was up on the board.
Yeah.
It was
standing ovation from the crowd.
Yeah, OK, so it's been a dramatic evening, really. It's been a thriller as well. Before we go to the highlights, by the way, just bear in mind there's still a few tickets left for the game next week against Gloucester. Surrey will look to be getting back onto winning ways. But in the meantime, here are the highlights from what's been a classic.
Bit of width this time, though, from Robinson. And Evans throws its hand at it. And gives himself a bit of room. Hits it over mid-off. Picks up 4. Goes big this time. In the slot, and that's gone for 6. Into the pavilion. Particularly difficult.
Bowled
him! Robinson strikes. Lawrence gives himself room. It's aerial and straight to the man at deep third, who takes a very good catch. Pope used his feet first up. McAndrew in to Pope, and that's gone for 6. Length, and that is punished. Swept hard from Roy. Is that a chance?
That'll do nicely by Oliver Pope. It's clubbed, but straight to long on, and it's gone. And there you go. That'll just clear the boundary for 6. In the slot. Thank you very much. That's a beautiful shot by Oliver Pope.
As well.
Make that 2 in 2. 1 delivery to come. Drag down, towed a little. And he's got it in! Not got much of it. I think it will be taken. Yeah, running round. Good catch. I tell you what, though, it's not going to be the man. It's Coles again. Thank you very much. That'll beat the man. Useful boundary. Ollie Pope moves into the 80s. Clothed into the offside, but he'll... No. He's rather sold his man a dummy there, and he's... It's still in hand. Clears the man, runs away, 4, up to 99. They've played some outstanding cricket, disciplined, but sparky as well. They were creative and inventive with the bat. They gambled at key points. They didn't ever go into their shell. Statement win here at the Kia Oval.
Surrey couldn't make it 4 wins from 4. They came up against a thoroughly professional Sussex side who took the attack to the home side throughout. That's it from me, Rana and Phil Walker. Surrey will be back in action again here at the Kia Oval next Friday. There's still some tickets available. They're at home to Gloucestershire at exactly the same time next week. 6:30 start. There's no better place to be on a Friday night in South London. Get involved.